Welcome to John A. Farrell Stadium, home of the Westchester University Golden Rams. Today's PSAC matchup is between the Seton Hill Griffins and the Westchester University Golden Rams. Beside me is James Jackson. I'm Dave DiPasqua. Patrolling the sidelines is Frankie Stokes. Westchester fell in the final seconds last week in a tough one, 37-35 loss to Mercyhurst. So first question for you. How can Westchester and Coach Bill Swan get back on track?
Well, Coach Swan has to have his offense come out early and often and put points on the board. Come out on fire and score often. That'll do two things. One, that'll give them a nice momentum push that they can carry throughout the game. And two, it takes a little bit of pressure off that defense, which we know has been struggling the past couple of weeks.
That indeed is trying to get momentum is something you want to see, as Seton Hill's coming off their first win of the season, beating Lock Haven last week 27-10 in their home opener, so something to keep an eye on. Now, we're going to send it down to the field to Frankie, who's going to have some analysis on the game.
Thanks, Dave. Frankie Stokes here on the sideline of Farrell Stadium. Beautiful day out today. Westchester University is hosting their Hall of Fame Day and Family Weekend. The Golden Rams are looking for their first win of the season against Seton Hill Griffins. Tight end Tim Brown is making his return today, hoping to make a couple plays for the Rams and looking for their first win of the season today. Dave, back to you.
Thank you, Frankie. And that indeed, Westchester gets the services of Tim Brown back, something to keep an eye on.
Of course. You know, he's an preseason All-American pick. Had over 1,000-yard season last year, so hopefully he can provide the spark that this Westchester offense is much needed. 2
school records with receiving. He had yards and 17 touchdowns, both are a single-season record for the University Golden Rams. This also gives a lot of wiggle room to Moriarty, the starting quarterback for the Rams, as it's going to create opportunities for players like Brandon Monk, the starting running back, in addition to Eddie Elliott on the outside.
Of course. Moriarty had some success through the air last week, but did come up with 3 interceptions. So we're looking for Moriarty to have a bounce-back week in that aspect, but keep the offense on his back and keep rolling.
Right, defensively for the Golden Rams, something to keep an eye on. Andrew Cohen, the big defensive tackle, 1 sack away from a school record. So it's also going to allow the defense to get some wiggle room, as well as they like to get up front, play defense, and maybe that pass rush will help the secondary.
Of course, and that's something that they really need to focus on in this game. They allowed over 300 yards in the air last week, so they're looking for the defense to get some pressure on the quarterback, not give this quarterback enough time to make plays down the field, take a little bit of pressure off that secondary, and of course, he's looking forward to get that record, Dave.
Forcing 2 fumbles last week. It was a key player to keep an eye on. For Seton Hill, they have a lot of different options, but Jarvis McClam, their starting wide receivers, very versatile, sort of like Brandon Monk for the Rams.
And he could cause a lot of problems for this Westchester secondary, which puts even more pressure on that front 7 to get up in the quarterback's face, not make it easy for him so he cannot find his targets down the field.
On the season, he has 13 receptions for 122 yards, including a punt return touchdown last week against Lock Haven. So multiple options as their quarterback is looking to find his way, put points on the board for the Griffins.
Of course. And Westchester, on the other hand, is looking forward to stymieing that and trying to get up in his face and not let him get on the board.
Dan Pietrangelo is one player to keep an eye on. It's going to be a tongue twister, though, but we're going to try our best, as the Seton Hill Griffins are looking to also run the ball. Their running back, Brandon Stout, has 35 carries for 197. Has yet to find the end zone, but he's going to look for it today.
And Westchester really struggled with their running game last week defensively. They let up 442 total yards on the ground, so that's not going to look good against a versatile running offense such as Seton Hill.
Defensively, their middle linebacker is Nicholas Bowden, and he can lay the hammer. He has 20 tackles in 2 games, so you're going to see Coach Swan probably game plan for a linebacker like that, try to utilize the speed of Eddie Elliott Adam Dempsey last week, got an end around for a touchdown. So a few outside plays to get momentum.
As he should. And, you know, the middle linebacker, he's really the captain of that defense, holding the defense together. He's the glue that holds this defense together and makes it tough for the opponent. So looking forward to him having a big day.
Now, who for the big day will you give your player the game to watch?
I'm going to give my player the game to watch on Pat Moriarty because of so much pressure on this WCU offense to come out and score early. He needs to come out and have a big game, especially that first drive. That's what I'm looking for. Establish the rhythm, establish the offense early, come out firing, come out on all cylinders. Pat Moriarty is going to be on my radar.
Especially last week, he had 2 touchdown throws to Jim Hurley, who I'm sure will be a player to keep an eye on. My player, how can you go away from the headline of today? That's going to be Tim Brown. First game back of the season after getting the waiver appeal. It was granted, so the Westchester gets their All-American back. That's going to help your player, Moriarty. Defensively, who should we keep an eye on?
I think we need to keep an eye on, I'm not going to key on one player, I'm going to key on a whole section of defense. I'm watching that secondary because of the amount of passing yards and total yards they let up last week and the first week. I'm looking forward to them to coming together and holding it down as a defense because they're going to need it this week.
Especially mine. I said it earlier. I'm going to say it again. Andrew Cohen. It frees up the linebackers as Westchester is going to continue to get Dugan. Is going to be open as he led the way last week with 8 tackles. So the defensive tackle allows some blockers to get Ray. Linebacker comes up, makes a nice play. So it's something to keep an eye on as well.
You're watching the Sports Fan Base Network presented by Payroll Service Solutions.
Welcome back to John A. Farrell Stadium, home of the Westchester University Golden Rams. Westchester will receive the ball as they were deferred. Seton Hill will be kicking off with their kicker, Baltimore. It is booted. And it's going to go into the end zone. He's going to bring it all the way out. It's going to be going to the outside, and he's going to be hit by a group of Seton Hill Griffins. It's a good return, though.
Start good field position for Moriarty. Hopefully he can get this drive started on the right foot here, Dave.
All right, Westchester will come now. Offensively, they are led by their quarterback, Pat Moriarty. Running back today is the change in the lineup. There is Jarel Elder, Sean Driggins, Eddie Elliott, Gilbert, Lestrodo, LeBeau, Drob, Unger, Tim Brown, Mayer, and Dempsey. It's going to put Moriarty's going to fake the motion, going deep down the field. He had a target. Tim Brown, first play, throwing it down the field.
And that's a great job by Moriarty. Hey, you got your preseason All-American tight end back. Why not go to him in the first play, try to get something started?
Westchester coming out, throwing the ball. They're going to go no huddle as they don't huddle up. They're going to go right to the field as Dempsey's in the slot. They're going to put Elliott on the outside. Something new is Elder had a good game last week as they put Elliott in motion. It's going to be a fake to Elliott as Elder was unable to get it. Ball might be loose. There is a pile on the ground, and they're waving towards Seton Hill. Waiting for a call from the official. They're still fighting underneath that pile.
And that it could get scrappy under that dog pile, Dave. There are probably many players fighting for that ball under there.
And Westchester is able to jump on top of it. That's Elder jump back on top of it, but whew, that could have been a recipe for disaster.
And one of my keys to the game, Dave, was to get this drive started and put points on the board early and often. And I said to try to score as much as possible on this first drive. That is not a good way to start the football game.
Defensively, big guys up front, Gonzalez, Thompson, Atia, and Dixon. Linebackers Goodsmore, Boyden, and Willing. Talked about Boyden. And Moreland, Walden, Fadovich, and Brown. As Moriarty's pass is intended to the outside, incomplete. It's going to bring out the punting crew.
3 and out in the very first possession. I'm not going to say it's Moriarty's fault. He was pressured a lot by that defense, but they're going to have to do something better here at Westchester if they want to stay alive in this football game.
Back to punt this one away is number 46, Brandon Paulson. McLean back to return this kick. It's going to take a Westchester bounce, and it's going to roll all the way down to the 36-yard line. Seton Hill's offense will come out after a good 3 and out.
It wasn't a good punt, but took a healthy bounce. So good field position for Westchester, but also kind of good field position for Seton Hill. Let's see what they can do in this first drive.
Offensively, Jarzadevich, Polanski, Long, Richardson, and Wright, the big guys up front. Pianagolo, Stout, Howard, Harns, George, Halfhill as the main options for Petrangelo. Petrangelo comes out, shotgun formation, 3 wide receiver set. It's going to be a handoff to the back who's going to be stuffed. It's about a gain of 2 as big number 93 of the Rams was in his way.
It's a great look for the first play for this Westchester defense. Try to stymie the run early and often, not let this offense get in a rhythm. I said my keys to the game was this defense too. We need to keep Seton Hill off the board.
That was Ship with the big guy up front, able to stop that play as Stout got the first handoff. Looks to the outside and is complete. It's going to find all the way down to the 41-yard line. So it's going to pick up 3rd and a good amount.
And we already see contrast in styles from these offense. Westchester, first play of the game was a pass play down the seam, trying to stretch the defense early. Seton Hill comes out early, does a little hitch, little 5-yard gain, and gets the chains moving, got the 3rd and short.
Something different already. You see Christian Strong, the redshirt sophomore, in at quarterback.
Hey, trying to mix some things up. Give this Westchester defense a little different looks. Try to confuse them. Let's see how it works.
The 4 wide receiver. It's going to be a slant into the slot. It's going to be caught by number 12, and he is going to bumble all the way down the Westchester territory.
Right up the middle. As you can see, a middle of the field wide open. Not good for this Westchester defense. Need to tighten it up. And you see Seton Hill, too, running his no-huddle offense.
No-huddle offense. Strong comes back out. It's going to go to Stout. 93, Ship up there and coming away with that tackle as they continue to try and get that ball. Defensively, Ship has already made his way known. Lyons, Cohen, and Cooper. Defensively, as the linebackers, Reeves, Dugan, and Pepper. And in the secondary, Patton, Schuyler, Formica, and Malone. It's going to be a read option. It's going to be a keeper by Strong to the outside, but he's going to be stuffed by a few Rams.
A good play by George Ship right there. Staying home on that read option, not biting on the fake, able to stop him. Now they got 3rd and a little bit to go.
3rd down and 6 for the Griffins. It's going to be 3 wide receiver set, shotgun formation. Strong's looking to his right and is batted down. What a great play by Andrew Cohen.
Hey, that's a great play by Andrew Cohen on the defensive side. You can't get to the quarterback, but you see him throwing. Get those arms up, bat it out of the air. Great defensive play. Sets up 4th down.
And with only 4th down and 6, it's too far. Try to punt it away. Looks like Seton Hill's going to go for it.
We're at that weird spot in the field, Dave, where a field goal may be a little too long, but you're still too short to punt it. I don't disagree with this call, but Westchester needs to stop. This is a pivotal first 4th down play.
Strong's going to look to his left. He's going to go deep down the field, and it is incomplete. He had Eric Brown along the sideline, but Westchester will take over on downs.
Hey, Westchester goes 3 and out, but the defense comes up big. I said this defense needs to show up in the pregame, and they did a little bit right there in that first possession. Good job. Let's see if Moriarty can get the ball back and put some points on the board for Westchester.
One thing, Westchester avoided disaster on the read option. We'll see if they go to a more conventional run game to begin, or try and air it up and continue because Brown's back in at tight end.
I think it's important for them to get this run game established early. Elder had a good second half last week, ended with 70 yards on the ground, so let's see if they can get him moving. They're going to be keying in on Tim Brown all day.
As Mayer went in motion, it looks like it's going to be a false start on the Golden Rams.
Again, mishaps on the offensive line. Maybe a little bit of jitters, maybe eager to get this possession started. We don't know, but still not a good sign for the Westchester Golden Rams.
It's going to push the Rams back to first down and 15. Ball will be spotted on the 29-yard line. 11:27 on the clock. Moriarty comes out. It's going to be looking, going deep down the field. Looks like it wouldn't have been batted down, James.
They batted down right at the line of scrimmage. So we saw Westchester get their hands up and bat the ball down. Now Seton Hill does the same thing. Good job by these defensive linemen. You can't get to the quarterback, get those hands up, deflect the ball.
Atia is able to get his hands up, big number 94 in the middle of things, setting up second down and 15.
So let's see what Westchester does here. We have a second and long, but as we see the passing game isn't really working, maybe we can get these running backs involved here, make it a little bit more manageable third down.
It's going to be a handoff to Elder off the left side. He's going to cut back into the middle of the field, only pick up a few yards.
Now we got a third and long here. Not what you were looking for when you try to set up that run, trying to get at least back to the original line of scrimmage, but here we go. Moriarty's got a big down coming up.
They're going to give him 3 yards on the carry for Elder. Big third down. In comes number 7 for Westchester, in addition to several others. It's going to be, you're going to see him going down, so it looks like it's going to be shotgun formation once again for the Rams.
And he's got no backs in the backfield right now, so this is all go right here for Westchester.
Empty formation, shotgun. Moriarty's looking. He's going to go deep down the field. It's going to be incomplete. 3 and out once again.
He had him on the outside there, but Moriarty overthrew him just a little bit, so his defense needs to come back out here, stop him once again, because it's pivotal that Westchester gets on the board first.
Karpinski, the intended target, along the sideline. Westchester's going to have to punt once again as Paulson is ready to kick. McLean ready to return it. Punt is up. Kick is good distance as McLean's going to receive it. He's about the 31-yard line. He's going to roll out of bounds. Referee, players complaining alongside maybe about a late hit.
You know what? The hit did look a little late there, but referees letting them play early here. I don't disagree with holding the flag there.
Westchester's default comes once again. Something you see early on, Westchester getting their hands up. Same thing with the Griffins, trying to bat that ball down.
Very active defensively, and that's what it takes. You have 2 high-powered offenses right here on the field. You do whatever it takes to try to stymie them. Good job both sides on the defensive side.
Strong comes out, 3 wide receiver set. It's going to be an option to the outside. Great job by the Rams to come down and stay at home. Malone coming up for the big stop.
So that's the second time we've seen the Seton Hill offense go to an option-like play. First time was a read option. This time was a traditional option with the back behind him. The Westchester defense does a very good job of staying home, not biting on the bait, only gets a yard of gain.
It's going to be 1 yard with 10 minutes to go in this first quarter. No score. Strong comes out, shotgun formation, 3 wide receiver set. Ball is snapped low, and he is tripped up for a loss of 5. Great penetration by the Golden Rams.
Great penetration in the backfield. Not being fooled. Seeing where the running back was going. The running back will tell tales of where the play is headed to. Reads it perfectly, gets in the backfield. Now Seton Hill is faced with a third and long.
Third down and 14 for the Griffins. Ball is spotted on the 30-yard line. 4 wide receiver set, turns into trips for Strong. Going around the edge, is thrown in the traffic, it is intercepted by the Rams. Going along the sideline, he's at the 20, 15, he's going to rumble all the way down to the 10. That's going to be number 19 of the Rams. That is Ted Patton, who came up big last week.
Great defensive play. I said the defense needs to step up today early in this game, and that's exactly what they're doing. Causing a punt in the first possession, causing a turnover the second possession, setting up the Westchester offense with beautiful field position inside the red zone on their 10-yard line. The Westchester's got to score here and capitalize on the great defensive play.
They're in great real estate to begin this drive. It would be first down and goal from the 10-yard line as Moriarty comes out. You're going to have Eddie Elliott on the far side, in addition to Brown. So I said earlier on, look for Tim Brown to get some red zone targets.
It's exactly where they can utilize their All-American tight end right here. I'm sure Pat Moriarty is going to be zoning in on him in the red zone.
In motion. It's going to be a handoff to Elliott, who's going to be stuffed in the backfield. It's going to be a loss of 3, but the jet sweep seemed to be ineffective right there.
Absolutely nowhere to go. You saw Elliott trying to turn the corner, trying to look for cutback lanes. All the holes were filled by that Seton Hall defense. Very good, but hey, you're still in the red zone. As long as you're in the red zone, points are an opportunity we need to capitalize right here.
Moriarty comes back out. This time 3 wide receiver set. Tim Brown goes in motion. Moriarty gonna dump it to Elder, who's gonna dive for the end zone. Touchdown, Golden Rams.
Hey, great play there by Elder. Gets to the end zone, gets to the edge, dives for that pylon. Westchester on the board first.
Great job. You saw the clear out along the sideline, leaving room. As we said earlier, Tim Brown, ultimate decoy as well. Left room for Elder.
Tim Brown came right off the edge, right up the seam, and immediately was double teamed, which means that flat was wide open. Great recognition by Moriarty to see that the flat is open, that Tim Brown is double covered, and puts Westchester on the board first.
Paulson this week now in as he attempts the extra point, something you haven't seen the last 2 weeks with the kicker change. He's able to put it through the uprights, give Westchester a 7-0 lead. Westchester is going to look to kick this one away as Paulson's going to kick it off. But what a great drive to force that turnover and then convert on it.
And both sides now have momentum. Defense has momentum after that turnover and takeaway. Offense has momentum after putting points on the board. After that takeaway, all signs lead great to Westchester right here, getting on the board first. Let's see what the defense comes out and does after that takeaway.
Great job all around. Defensively, Patton is making his name known, getting that interception and rolling all the way down to the 10-yard line. Back to kick it away will be Paulson. Returning for the Griffins.
And the last thing that Westchester wants right here is a good return by Seton Hall. That'll nullify all momentum they just had. They need to have great special teams defense right here.
Thank you, James, as this one's underway. Got under a little bit. It's going to fall short. It's going to be received at the 16-yard line. And he is still on his feet. 45, 40, 35, and finally pushed out of bounds. And they're going to throw a flag on that as number 18 is able to that's Jarvis McClain. That's my player to watch.
And not only did they, right after I said they need to have good special teams defense, let up a great kick return, but at the end, no excuse right there for the late hit, Jarvis McClain. It's not looking good for Westchester right now.
So as you said, momentum was going Westchester's way. Great way to stop the momentum. Let's get a good return.
And many people say that the game will be decided not on offense, not on defense, but on special teams. Special teams is a great momentum shift, and Seton Hill seems to have just swept the momentum right back from Westchester.
They're going to call a personal foul on Westchester for the late hit out of bounds, but I don't know how late that really was.
It didn't look like there were any bad intentions by Jarvis McClain right there. It is very hard to stop when you're coming full speed momentum right there. They try to stop and not put a hit on the defender. Didn't look like a late hit, but ref called it. Now this is what it is. Westchester has to come up big. Their defense has to make a stop right here.
Seton Hill in great field position, almost in the red zone. Ball is on the 23-yard line. A strong goes to the I formation. His running back is stout. It's going to go to Stout, up the gut, threading the needle, going off the fenders. He's going to be up for a decent game.
And he's bumbling and tumbling right there up the middle of this Westchester defense, breaking many tackles. Westchester has to not only put hits on him, but wrap up, get him on the ground. You cannot allow him to get many yards after contact.
It's been a gain of 3 on the play. Stout under center, I formation. It's going to be a toss to the outside, and he is stuffed immediately as the ball was thrown. That was for Eric Brown once again.
Hey, Robert Brown, great getting in there, recognizing the screen, jumping right up and getting in, making a big hit. That's a big play for this Westchester defense.
Setting up 3rd down and 8 for the Griffins. This is a big down because this could force them to 4th down because they decided to go for it last time.
And they decided to go for it because of their field position. I would think that if 4th down would happen right here, they would kick a field goal and take the points, but never know. It's early in the game. They could go for it, try to get 7 on the board.
Stout's going to toss. He's going to get tossed, and he's going to break a tackle, and he's going to fight his way all the way down to the 13. That should be good enough for the first down for the Seton Hill Griffins.
And we had opportunities right there to get him down in the backfield and get a loss of yards instead of a first down. It's hard to make tackles in the open field on such an elusive back, but right there you got to get him because you're the only seal on that edge.
They're actually going to be short. It's going to be 4th down and 2. Kicking is Baltimore to try and put it up through the uprights. This is going to be a 32-yard field goal. Kick is up. Kick is good. Seton Hill tacks on 3. Westchester leads 7-3 with 6:31 on the clock.
And even with that bad start on defense for Westchester and the bad special teams play, their defense does come up big, not letting that first down happen, only allowing Seton Hill to get 3 on the board instead of 7. Good signs right there. I said this Westchester defense needs to step up big early in this game, and they have. Great possession.
We're going to step aside. You're listening to SFBN. The 30.
Interesting decision here by the Rams. I would think that with the elusive returners they have, that they would try to have a re-kick so they can field it, close to the midfield to try to get even better position than 30, but we'll start from the 30. We'll go from there.
Moriarty comes out. 4 wide receiver set. Elder to deep back. Moriarty's going to throw a screen pass to Eddie Alley along the sidelines. He's going to pump the brakes, and he's going to find his way all the way down to the 39, but there is a flag back towards the line of scrimmage.
So I said Seton Hill's offense came out with short passes trying to get a rhythm established, and now we see Westchester adopting that, coming out with a nice little screen to get it going here.
A lot of penalties begin this game, James.
And not looking good, as most of them have come on the Westchester side. You get the good field position after the offsides, and after this penalty, we'll see if it's on Westchester. The last thing we want to do is take it right away.
There's a lot of discussing going on. I wonder what they're actually talking about, because this might be in favor of Westchester.
And it seems that The offensive lineman number 76, Latrasso, is listening in the huddle, maybe thinking it's on him. But then you see a Seton Hill defender in there, pleading his case too. So, we'll see.
She's got several offensive linemen putting their hands up saying, what I'm doing.
You're right. What did I do wrong here?
A long discussion. You even got the referees putting their hands up.
No, they don't even know. You see the head referee trying to give Coach Swan there on the Westchester sideline a little bit of an explanation as to what's going on.
It's going to be a personal foul, chop block on the Rams, so it's going to negate the game by Eddie Elliott.
Negate the game by Eddie Elliott and kind of negate the field position as they're going to back it up 10 yards here.
That's a 15-yard penalty. It's going to push the Rams all the way back down to the 15. That's a big loss, especially after the screen pass to Elliott.
We talked about through the first quarter and talked about in the pregame how much momentum plays a factor in this game. And it seems that every time Westchester gets a little bit of boost of momentum gets taken away.
Elder to handoff, going to the outside. Spin move, stays on his feet. He's able to pick up a few yards.
Good fight by Elder there. That's a good run to establish some kind of running game. If you can get about 6-7 yards a pop like that on every run, you'll take that as an offense.
Westchester comes out, no huddle offense. 3 wide receivers set for Moriarty once again. There was movement on both sides. It's going to depend who he calls. Is Westchester lean back, or are you going to call it on the encroachment?
It seems that this is going to be going on Westchester. You saw some movement there both sides, but when you see collectively a whole defensive unit jump off sides like that, you would think that was caused from a lineman.
Waiting for the referee to spot the ball. It's going to be encroachment on Seton Hill, so Westchester catches the break.
Hey, there's a little bit of momentum shift there for Westchester this time. A red penalty called on Seton Hill in this first quarter. Let's see what Moriarty can do with it.
Westchester leads 7-3 midway through this first quarter. Curley goes in motion. Moriarty's looking deep down the field, intended for Brown, incomplete.
That's about the 4th pass I've seen from Moriarty that's been either overthrown or underthrown. He's having a little bit of trouble with his accuracy. The sophomore quarterback struggling a little bit in this first quarter.
You're going to have to think conditioning is a major thing Coach Swan is looking at with Brown, because he hasn't played the last 2 weeks. He might be a little out of shape.
And you see him, he'll come on for a play, come off for a couple plays, come on for a play, come off for a couple plays. They're trying to work him slowly back into this offense.
3rd down and 8, trying to get the defensive line to jump once again. Westchester looks at the line for wide receiver set. He's looking, he's targeting Eddie Elliott, incomplete. Had him on the slant, was unable to come down with it.
Pass a little bit behind Elliott on the slant. Hit him in the hands, may be able to brought it in, but defender was right behind him. Even if he does catch the ball, I think they're short for the first down.
Paulson back to punt this one away. You have to be afraid of this punt returner because of his ability to find the end zone, as he did last week against Lockhaven.
And if the kickoff special teams is any indication of how we're going to be on special teams today, Westchester needs to tighten it up, especially with this dirty punt team.
McLean rolling out to his right, waving for a fair catch. It's going to take a Westchester bounce. Referee's going to mark it down on the 32-yard line, so it's going to be good field position for the Griffins.
Not even giving the Griffins a chance to return this punt, heading right to the sidelines. I don't disagree. Good punt, but Seton Hill does get set up with pretty good field position here.
Now, do you think that's part of Coach Swan, or do you think the punter?
I think it's a little bit of both. The punter does recognize that, hey, he returned a punt last week, and then maybe looking at the special teams from that kickoff, a little bit shaky. They're not even going to give him any opportunities, any chance. I agree. Good call by the punter. And if it was for Coach Swan, good call.
Great day. It's family day. As you see a picture of Ramey, as Stout goes up the middle, he's going to find his way to the 35, so it's going to be a gain of 3.
Good push here by the Seton Hill offensive line. May not get, 10 yards, 15 yards every run. But if you're a running football team, that's what's going to happen. You're going to have some plays where you're going to get 3-4 yards a pop. You'll take that.
But something you like to see is chop that feet, because you never know when you're going to bounce it big. As Strong comes out, I formation. It's going to be a screen, and he is stacked up. Great job by Patton once again to make a play.
A little bit of confusion there for the Seton Hill offense. You saw number 83 for their offense catch the ball on the screen pass, but you also saw that a receiver who was supposed to be blocking turned around and looked like he was going to go and catch the ball, so a little bit of confusion, but also great play by this Westchester defense. This secondary is coming up big here in the first quarter.
3rd down and 8 with 4:10 on the clock. Strong looking over the middle. He's going to be close to the first down. It's going to depend on the spot. Coming down with the reception was number 5 of the Griffins. That's going to be Halfhill, the tight end. And it's going to be enough for the first down. I thought it was a little closer.
I did too. I thought maybe Westchester had stopped them before they got the first down, but Seton Hill able to move the chains. But if you're defense for Westchester, you're okay with that play. They didn't go down the field. They didn't stretch your defense out. You were very much in control of that. So you'll take it. Got to come up big right here.
Shotgun formation. Jackson, the running back, who's going to go up the gut and pick up a chunk of yard. Looks like 5-6 yard gain.
And if we see a common theme for this run. They're going right up the middle in this Westchester defense, getting 5 yards, getting 4 yards, getting 6 yards. That's good for your running game. Westchester needs to find a way, especially with the linebacking core that they have. They need to come up, plug holes, and fill them, and not let the Seton Hall running game get established.
The Griffins are cruising down the field. Set up 2nd down and 4 from the 48. Strong's going deep down the sidelines. Incomplete. As intended for number 7, Jarel Brown.
A good defense right there by the Westchester Golden Rams. Not letting him get to the sideline, not giving him any spot for Strong to put that football in. Strong tried to put it where only his receiver can get it. Unfortunately, only where his receiver could get it was out of bounds.
With 2:55 on the clock, Griffins are in 3rd down and 4 from the 48. Shotgun formation, 4 wide receiver set. It's going to be a slant pattern, and it is dropped. It is a big break for the Rams as number 17, Brown, had some running room.
And I think he was thinking about his touchdown celebration right there, Dave. Looking towards the end zone, didn't look that ball all the way in. If he did, that could have been 6 for Seton Hill.
Big break for the Rams. Is back to return this one for the Rams. Hodge is punting this one away for the Griffins. Kick is up for Brown, and it's just going to be caught at the 10-yard line. So the Rams come out starting from their own 10.
I normally kind of a golden rule of thumb for punt returning. Don't field it inside your 10. Take the gamble on the bounce. It could bounce in the end zone. He elects to field the fair catch at his own 10-yard line, which sets up a long field right here for Moriarty and this Rams offense. Need to get something going while they still have the lead.
Now, you have to love the atmosphere here on Family Day, Hall of Fame Day. Just looks like almost a sold-out crowd in addition to the great band.
And we couldn't have asked for a greater day for football. Not too hot, not too cold. Sun is shining, little bit of a breeze here. I'm loving Family Day at Westchester.
Elder's making a move. He's going to bounce off the defender, and he's going to be tackled by number 54 of Seton Hill. That's going to be Thompson, the big defensive tackle, who's just a freshman.
And freshman stepping up there and making a big tackle, not letting Elder break that. But also, we see Seton Hill's offense get about 5 yards a pop each run. We got 5 yards here on Westchester's run. That's a good, solid run here on 1st down.
Shotgun formation, 3 wide receiver set. Moriarty's looking across the field in the crossing pattern. He has Elder, dances away around one defender. It's going to go all the way down to the 36. That's going to be about a 20-yard gain.
And it's hard to tackle these backs out in open space. You see Elliott right there making a great move on the defender, gets right past him, move the chains. It's a 1st down.
They're going to spot the ball on the 36. It's going to be a pickup of 21. And that is one play Westchester likes to run, is those crossing patterns, getting their wide receivers open and running backs.
And getting their backs out in open space. You see how dangerous they could be as they do an end around right here.
At end around to Eddie Elliott. He is dangerous from that wide receiver possession on the jet sweep. He's going to be able to be spot on the 44-yard line, pickup of 8.
So we see how this Westchester offense is operating. They like to get in space, get their special backs and their wide receivers in space where they are dangerous. All their sets are the shotgun, very spread out, open field. So I like what I'm seeing right here for this Westchester offense, starting to put a little bit of a drive together.
Second down and short, 3 wide receiver set for Moriarty. It's going to be a handoff to Elliott, who's in the backfield. He's going to make a move. He's going to cut back, and he's going to be picking up the first down. It's going to be spotted on the 49.
So we saw a similar play when Westchester was inside their own red zone, where Elliott tried to get the end around and tried to find a hole on the outside. This time recognizes that there's no hole to go through, hits a cutback lane, able to move the chains. Great play by Eddie Elliott.
Elliott, very versatile running back, catching the ball out of the backfield. Multiple options, a lot of gadgets for Coach Swan. Is checking in is Tim Brown. Shotgun formation. It's going to be a handoff to Elder around the outside. He's going to find a crease, and he's going to be down at the 40-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 9 as a helmet flying around.
And this is what you love to see. Establish this running game. If you would get the running game established, it could be nightmares for a defense, and it is a nightmare right now for Seton Hill's defense.
Clock is ticking down. It's going to be less than 30 seconds before the Rams get this play underway. Second down and 1.
And I think so much hype has been coming around on Tim Brown coming back. Seton Hill knows that Tim Brown is back, and you can see they're keying in on him. They're forgetting, though, that Westchester has other backs that can make it very tough for them.
Exactly. Shotgun formation. It's going to be an option. It's going to be to Elder up the guts, picking up the first down. It's going to be a gain of 5. There is an injured Ram on the play. You're listening to SFBN. Welcome back to this presentation at SFBN, as the injured Golden Ram was Doug Gilbert, the left tackle, who's able to walk off under his own power.
And that's great to see. On the play, you could see someone land on him. He kind of rolled over at the ankle, but this is a good sign, him being able to walk under his own power. So hopefully he can get back on the field. He's pivotal to Westchester's offense.
Westchester's going to come out with only 11 seconds, so it looks like this quarter's almost done. What do you expect going down here? Do you just do a run? You got the momentum of Elder?
Well, you see, I say keep momentum going on your side. The running game is working right here, but it looks like they're just going to let this clock run out and play from the second quarter.
With only 10 seconds, that clock's going to tick away, and that's going to conclude the first quarter. You are listening to this presentation of Westchester University football from SFBN. Westchester leads 7-3 after this first quarter. We're going to send it down to Frankie patrolling the sidelines.
Thanks, Dave. Wrapping up the first 7-3. All thanks to an interception by linebacker Ted Patton, setting up the scoring drive for Jarel Elder to run it in. We had a left tackle, Doug Gilbert, down for a second, but he was able to walk off. Westchester still has possession for the second quarter. Thanks, Dave. Back to you.
Thank you, Frankie. As Moriarty comes out, it's going to be 2 wide receiver set. Brown's going to be the runner. That was going to be Elder. He's going to move. He's going to roll out of the pocket, and he's going to be sacked in the backfield.
So now you see Seton Hill dialing up the pressure here on Pat Moriarty, not letting him get comfortable. There was virtually nowhere to go with the football. Pat Moriarty just tucks it, takes the sack.
It's going to be a 3-yard loss for the Rams. Second down and 13. They're going to mark it off, actually 14. Second down and 14 for the Rams. 4 wide receiver set. Moriarty looking to his right. He's going to throw in the out route. Mayer, who's going to come down with it, and he's going to be tackled at about the 30-yard line. So it's going to be a pickup of 9.
And you see here, Dave, Tim Brown on for a play, coming off for a play. Now he comes right back onto the field. They're going to try to integrate him a little more in the second quarter, try to get a rhythm established. They still have yet to utilize their All-American tight end.
Westchester's looking at 3rd and 5 from the 30. There was a jump. That had to be from the defensive end position. That's going to be number 92 of Seton Hill. That's Pettit Frere.
Hold up here, Dave. Might be calling a false
start. They're going to call a false start, but it looks like he was attractive. Nonetheless, it's going to push him back to 3rd and 10.
I don't know if I agree with that call from the referee. It looked like Seton Hill's defense jumped first, causing Westchester's offensive line to jump, but nevertheless, false start on Westchester right back where they started.
Westchester has Gilbert come out, so it's great to see the injured player come back onto the field. The starting left tackle, that's who the penalty was called on.
And jogged out looking fine, so might have been just tweak the ankle, wrap it back up, get back in there, big fella.
Moriarty, shotgun formation around the end. He's hit as he's thrown, but it is caught by Elder along the outside. They're going to mark it all the way down at the 32, 33.
And just think, without that false start, this would be a 3rd and 1, if not maybe a first down for this offense.
Few stats from the first quarter. You had Elder go for 5 for 29. You had Eddie Elliott around the outside, 3 carries for 15 yards. Most tackles was for Micah, coming down with 3. As Moriarty is going to go for it on 4th down. He's going to go for the first down. It is dropped along the sidelines. That's Dempsey.
Moriarty took a shot right as he released that football. Still able to put it on target. Gotta have the catch there. That's pivotal. That would have been a first down. Instead, turnover on down. Seton Hill football.
Seton Hill takes over. 12:54 on the clock on the 32-yard line. As their main target in the first quarter happened to be Mr. Eric Brown, who had 2 yards receiving, but additionally they had McClam, who had that one big play around the outside for 21 yards.
And Westchester's defense looking great there in that first quarter, especially the secondary, not letting them get established through the air.
Strong, intended for McClam. That had to be interference as just going across the middle.
I was waiting for the flag to come. Didn't even let the ball get to the receiver past the 5 yards. That's pass interference. That's an easy call for the ref every time.
As you see, a lot of screen passes, a lot of slants, so a lot of West Coast offense type philosophy.
And they seem to try to establish something before they try to go down the field, because they have yet to stretch out this Westchester secondary, and they tried to go down the field one time and it got intercepted. So they're playing it safe before they try to take some shots. But at some point, you're going to have to try to go down the field. These little short passes aren't going to get it done for very long.
Intended for that pass was number 83. That's Kalen Franklin, another freshman. So a bunch of freshmen on the squad for the Griffins, as it's going to set up first down and 10 from 37. Getting a signal from the sidelines. He's going to put his running back in motion. He's looking to his left. He's going to throw to the slot, and it is incomplete.
Not even that much pressure there from Westchester, just great coverage, nowhere to go down the field. Had to go to his check down, but overthrows him to the sideline.
That pass was intended for number 2. Excuse me. Little recap right now in the first quarter. What you missed is Jarel Elder, 12-yard pass from Moriarty for a touchdown, put the Rams up 7-0. Answering back was Baltimore with a 32-yard field goal, and that's where we're at, 7-3. 8 goes in motion. That's Joshua. Strong looking to his left and is nearly intercepted. That's number 6 of the Rams, who almost came down with that interception.
Kevin Malone came up from his free safety position, read that play perfectly from Strong, just not able to pull in, and he had nothing but green in front of him, Dave. He pulls that down, we could be looking at a 14-3 game.
He had some daylight along the sidelines, but it would have been a tough catch to come down with it.
A great play, though, to knock it down. Can't fault the defensive effort, but we still need one more stop here for the Golden Rams.
Strong comes out, empty backfield. It's going to be a 4 wide receiver set. Strong's looking over the middle, nearly intercepted by another Golden Ram.
Kevin Dugan, the middle linebacker, I don't even think Strong saw him. He slid right over right in front of that pass. Another great defensive possession for Westchester. This is what I said needed to happen. Their defense needed to show up, takes pressure off this offense, and now hopefully they can come back with good field position and Moriarty can lead a drive for a score.
Punting it away for the Griffins is Hodge after his first kick was from 42 yards out. Anthony Bound returning for the Rams. Snap is good. Kick is up. It's a little wobbler going out to the out of bounds. It's going to float all the way down to about the 30.
And a really short punt there. Looked like he shanked it off the side of his foot. Nevertheless, good starting position here for Westchester.
Westchester's coming out with the 7-3 lead after you've seen a lot of plays by Elder in this first half. Might be able to get some running room for him.
So you see their starting running back, Monk, did not make the start today. Elder gets the start, so maybe they're trying to get him a little established in the offense early, get a little rhythm going. They seem to have done that.
As Moriarty comes out, it's going to be 3 wide receiver set with Elder in the backfield.
Dave, I'm still waiting for Westchester to try to get Tim Brown involved in this offense, and they go right to him here.
That is going to be a great catch. They're going to mark him out of bounds, but what a play by number 6. That's Robert Brown, the senior.
And then so as soon as Tim Brown got in this offense, you know Moriarty's going to look for him. Unfortunately, Seton Hill's defense know Moriarty's going to look for him. He was triple covered. He still tried to go to him. Almost interception. Great play there by the senior.
The corner route was ineffective as now he puts Elliott on the left side of the offense. It's going to be 3 wide receiver set. It's going to hand off to Elder off the right side. He's going to bounce his way all the way down to the 39.
Great vision by the running back. See all the holes plugged up in the middle where the play was originally designed. Bounce it out to the outside. Doesn't head for the corner, though. Cuts it back inside. Gets a nice gain of about 8. Sets up 3rd and short.
3rd and short for the Rams. Shotgun formation, 3 wide receiver set. It's going to be a handoff to Elder, this time off the left side. He's going to bounce off and pick up the first down.
You said there are a lot of plays involving Elder in that first quarter. Seems to have a similar theme here early in the second quarter. Elder deep involved in this Westchester offense. I'm liking what I'm seeing from this running game.
You have to look at the big left tackle with that huge block to spring Elder. Gilbert looked fine to me.
Hey. That's what they needed. That's why they got him back on the field. I said he was pivotal for this offense. Makes a great block to spring the running back.
Shotgun formation, 3 wide receiver set. This can be a screen to Young, who's going to sidestep a defender and go all the way down to the 42. It's going to be a big chunk of yards for the Rams after dumping it off.
Great move in the open field right there to pick up some extra yardage. Gets the first down. Let's keep moving this chains.
No huddle offense for the Rams as they get their call from the sidelines. It's going to be shotgun formation. It's going to be Young in the backfield once again.
And they got this Seton Hall Griffin defense on their heels right now. Go for the juggler. Stay on them.
He's looking. He's going to throw over the middle of the field. He had his intended target, incomplete.
Just over the outstretched hands of his intended target right there. But hey, great find over the middle of the field. That's still a good sign. You see what happens when you get the running game established. Those safeties have to come up, and then you go right over their head, just not able to complete the pass.
Karpinski unable to come down with it. You've seen 2 plays already where they've done full-out layout dives for their quarterback, but haven't come down with it yet. 2nd down and 10. Ball is loose. Ball is on the ground. Moriarty falls on it. It's going to be... They're going to call him down. They're going to call it down at the 49, even though Seton Hill's complaining that they didn't blow it dead.
It's college. As soon as you have possession with the ball on the ground, you are down. Seton Hill tries to strip it away from Moriarty right there, but it doesn't work. But still, miscue on offense, and that's a huge momentum killer. Westchester seemed to have this drive going. Then they have an incomplete pass and then a fumbled snap. Now we're looking at 3rd and long.
It's a big loss. It's going to push them all the way back to the 48-yard line. 3rd down and 16 for the Rams. Young to D-back, 4 wide receiver set. He's going to throw it deep down the middle for Brown. Welcome back, Tim Brown, who picks up the 1st down.
There's the big fellow. There's our All-American tight end right there. I was waiting to see when he was going to get involved in this offense. Couldn't have come at a better time. 3rd and long, who do you go to? You look for your best receiving threat, and there it is, Tim Brown, right in the middle of the field. 1st down, Westchester.
Brown checks out after picking up the 1st down. Ball is spotted on the 29. It's going to be a handoff to Young. He's going to find a crease, step side, spin move, still on the ground. And they're going to blow it dead as his knee must have been on the ground at the 20.
Hey, spins out, spinning away from tacklers, bouncing off tacklers. That's what you like to see. Westchester on the move here.
Westchester, great gain. It's going to be 2nd down and 1 as they come out 4 wide receiver set. Merritt in the slot. It's going to be a handoff to Young off the left side. He has Gilbert, and it's going to be down at the 11. So Westchester able to find some running room behind Gilbert.
And they're finding running room behind Gilbert, but more importantly, they're finding running room outside the hash marks. They're stretching out this defense. And with the no-huddle offense that they're running, they got the Seton Hill defense winded and tired. They need to keep going with that, keep establishing that running game.
Westchester comes out. It's going to be trips to the far side. Mayer, Dempsey, and Elliott. Elder back in at running back. It's going to be a handoff to Elder. He's going to go off the left side. He's going to stiff arm, but he's only going to pick up a gain of 2.
And this is where Westchester needs to capitalize. You're in the red zone. They were able to punch it in last time they're in the red zone, and they need to go 2 for 2 right here. Red zone opportunities don't come often, and when they do, you need to make sure you capitalize on them.
Petit Friere coming up with the tackle, setting up 2nd down and 8 from the 9. Moriarty shotgun as Westchester looks. Westchester leads 7-3 with 8:30 on the clock, so great to take some time off the clock as well.
It's a huge possession right here, taking a lot of chunk of the clock.
Well, too tall for Eddie Elliott, who's throwing in the back of the end zone.
And it looked like Eddie Elder was kind of looking towards the ref like, hey, he's holding me. You called it both ways here.
3rd down and 8 for the Golden Rams.
And there's another overthrow by Pat Moriarty. I don't know if he doesn't know his own strength or he's a little eager here, Dave.
And
but,
sometimes slips out of your hand.
Hey, but he's had a lot of overthrown balls, and this is not the time to do it. We need to complete some passes here in the red zone.
Young checks in. Moriarty's looking for Young over the middle. He got 1 foot down. That's touchdown. Golden Rams in the back of the end zone.
Hey, he stepped up right when I needed him to. Makes overthrown passes, but right there puts a beautiful ball where only his receiver can get it. That's 6 on the board right there for Westchester.
Golden Rams looking to tack on an extra point But what a throw, what a grab by the Golden Rams here in the second quarter.
And it didn't look good when they were about at midfield when they had to bring the ball back for that 3rd and long, but then they found the All-American tight end, which kind of re-jump started this drive. Westchester able to score here.
Kick is up. Kick is good for Paulson. Westchester leads 14-3 with 8:06 on the clock. You're watching this presentation of Westchester University football.
Hi, I'm Marty Bystrom, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. In my experience in Major League Baseball, I know how important it is for high school athletes to gain exposure. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you are a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
12 plays, 70 yards, and a young touchdown, 4:15 off the clock. As Paulson kicks it off, it's going to be taken from the 6. He's going to go across the left side. He has a crease for number 18. That's going to be McLean all the way down, spinning at the 50. This guy is electric.
Back-to-back, huge returns right here from McLean to set up the Seton Hill offense. But last time this happened, Westchester's defense stepped up big and held them. They need to come up big Reds again. But not good special teams play here in the first half for Westchester. We're
Very
seeing
common
botched punts. We're seeing big returns by Seton Hill.
Seton Hill will come out on offense in Westchester territory on the 49 with 7:57 on the clock. It's going to be a fake to Stout. It's going to be throw along the sidelines. He's going to be pushed out of bounds. That's number 17 on the reception for Seton Hill. That's Brown once again.
And here we go, Seton Hill running up their hurry-up offense right here, trying to get Westchester on their heels. But Westchester has played very good with this offense, and they seem well-rested after that 4-minute drive by their offense.
It's going to be a read option to Stout up the gut, and it's going to be tackled for no gain.
No holes to go right there. Good plug by the Westchester defense, but still 3rd and short for this Seton Hill offense.
For Micah finishing him off on that, it's going to set up 3rd down and 4 from the 43. You have to think this is 4-down territory for the Griffins.
Absolutely, because right here, too long for a field goal, too short for a punt. They got 2 downs to work with.
Strong shotgun formation, 4 wide receiver set. He's going to throw deep down the sideline. He has his target. That's going to be a touchdown for the Griffins. That's number 17. That's Ardell Brown. Call his name once again.
Hey, great defensive play up until this point by Westchester. One rule as a cornerback or safety, don't get beat long. He had about 2 steps on the cornerback right there. Jalen Strong puts a beautiful pass on the ball, and that's 6 points right there for the Griffins.
Griffins to tackle an extra point. That's Baltimore. Kick is up. Kick is good. So the Griffins answer. Westchester leads 14-10. You're watching this presentation of Westchester football on SFBN. Welcome back. Westchester leads 14-10, but a quick strike by the Griffins gets them back in striking distance.
And that's exactly what they were looking for. Westchester takes up a huge chunk of the clock. Very deflating for Seton Hill, but they get that inflation right back by a quick play scored. That's how you nullify a long drive, with a quick scoring drive.
Baltimore kicks it away. That's going to be Elder from the 1. He's going to roll out to his left. He's going to make a juke, but he's going to be stopped at the 15.
Great
pick up a 14.
Great coverage right there by Seton Hill kicking team. No holes to go through. Also, no blocking from the Westchester return team. Sets up a long field for Moriarty in this offense.
Westchester comes out. Moriarty, quarterback, once again. What are you telling your squad? Are you trying to drain the clock so the Griffins don't get the ball back, or are you just trying to go down the field?
Essentially, that's what you think they were trying to do. Let's score, but let's not leave enough time so that Seton Hill can come down and score. Because remember, Seton Hill deferred in the first half for the kickoff, so they get the ball right back. So you don't want back-to-back scoring drives for the Griffins.
Moriarty comes out. 3 wide receiver set. Shotgun formation. He puts Elliott in motion. It's going to be a pitch outside to Elliott, and he's going to wheel his way along the sidelines. They're going to spot him at the 25.
Elliott almost able to break that to the corner, almost got to the sideline. If Elliott gets to the sideline, look out. Not too many people are going to catch him.
Eddie Elliott on the outside. He can run the ball, catch the ball. He is very versatile in this offense.
And causing headaches and nightmares for the Seton Hills defense. He'll line up in the backfield. He'll line up out wide as a receiver. They don't know where he's going to be, and so far they have yet to contain him.
Mike Klass enters the game for the first time as Moriarty's looking to go over the middle. Too tall for his tight end and Brown.
Another overthrow by Pat Moriarty, and this time he had his tight end wide open in the middle of the field. He puts it on him in stride, and Tim Brown could be running for a little bit.
There is a flag on the play. It's going to be a legal man downfield.
Seems like the refs are having just as much trouble with this offense as Seton Hill's defense is. A lot of confusion.
It's going to be on Westchester. It's going to back them up.
And these are the little miscues that you don't want to have. This isn't a physical mistake. This is a mental mistake. This is not getting lined up in the right position. This is what Westchester needs to avoid if they want to come out of this day with a W. Too many penalties here in the first half.
First down and 15 after the 5-yard penalty. Trips to the near side. It's going to be a swing pass to the outside, and he is going to be stuffed by number 5. What a tackle.
And you can see that play took a little bit too long to develop. Moriarty was ready to throw before his receiver was ready to catch. That allowed the defense to catch up to him. Another loss of yards. Second and very long here for Westchester.
Excuse me, that was number 6, Robert Brown with the play. As Westchester continues through these short passes, you're going to see all these Griffins close, like press coverage almost.
And now this is the time to stretch and go down the field, because now the Griffins are playing up. Let's see if Westchester takes a shot.
Hit as he's thrown. Could have been a recipe for disaster right there, as it was almost intercepted, but you got the free rusher coming around the outside.
And you can see on our private replay cam right here, so much pressure from Moriarty. Wasn't able to get the ball out quick enough. Hit as he thrown, duck in the air, but lands harmlessly to the turf. And that was a 3rd and long here for Westchester.
3rd down and 16. 5:45 on the clock as Westchester leads 14-10.
And they don't have their 3rd down go-to, Tim Brown, in the game. Let's see what
Moriarty going to the outside on the short route. It's going to be caught, but his knee was down to Elliott, so it's going to be short of a 1st down.
And right here, Westchester's punt the football back with about probably 5 minutes remaining. Once Seton Hill gets the football, that's going to be plenty of time. That's trouble for Westchester defense. Needs to come up big right here.
Back to punt it away for the Golden Rams is number 46, Paulson, returning McLean, who's dangerous. You already seen his speed to the outside.
And the combination of his speed and Westchester's struggles with special teams right here does not bode well right now.
High end over end kick. He's going to call for a fair catch. Great punt, not even allowing a return. Ball is going to be spotted on the 28-yard line.
And McLean may have success with the kick return, but not with the punt return. This punter is saying, no, we're not going to let you return one on us. We're not going to let you beat us on special teams. Great punt, high, great hang time on the kick, letting his kick return team get down there, forcing Griffins to call a fair catch.
With 5 minutes on the nose, they will take over. 1st and 10 from the 28 for the Griffins.
And let's see if Strong tries to stretch the defense right here now. 5 minutes on the clock, halftime coming up. You get the ball right back. Why not try to take some shots down the field? You saw they had success with it.
It's going to be a handoff to the wide receiver in motion. Who's going to be stuffed?
Westchester not letting him get to the end. They've seen this trick before. They run this play right there with their own wide receivers, so they're not fooled by it. Able to get in the backfield, lost to 2 yards.
The man in motion was Larry Joshua, the senior for Virginia Beach, Virginia. Strong comes out, 3 wide receiver set. He's looking to his left. It is thrown high, but incomplete. Good coverage by Patton.
Hey, great coverage by Patton right there. Not letting the receiver breathe. Saw the inside break, stay on him, get that arm up in there, bat the ball down, 3rd down.
Patton with another breakup. He's having a great game. First the interception. Now the breakup. It's going to set up 3rd down and 11 for the Griffins. 3 wide receiver set, shotgun formation. He's looking to his left. He's going to throw it in the flat. Incomplete for his tight end, number 82. That's Carnes.
One of my keys to the game, Dave, was I said Westchester needs to get pressure on the quarterback, not let him have all day back there to breathe and have time to throw the football. Great job getting up at him, hit as he thrown, not able to get his check down, 4th down, they're forced to punt. Westchester gets the ball right back here.
Punting it away is Hodge. Brown returning for the Rams, who's spotted on the 32. It's a clean snap, kick is up. It's going to take a Griffin bounce, and it's going to roll all the way down to the 28-yard line. So a great punt to get a bounce.
Great punt. May have been a little lucky, though. We've seen all the Griffin punter punts been end over end, short little line drive punts, but they're taking good bounces for the Griffins.
Westchester will come out with 4:11 on the clock to begin this drive.
And how about a nice little scoring drive right here for Pat Moriarty? This will give great momentum to them going to the locker room. Put them up about 3 possessions here.
As you stated, Griffins get the ball after the half, so give some momentum possibly.
Of course. And Pat Moriarty looks to come out here firing on all cylinders with this empty set.
Moriarty comes out 5 wide receiver. It's going to be a dump to Dempsey, who's going to be shoved out of bounds. There was a group, including number 22 of the Griffins. That's Andre, the linebacker.
And we saw this for the Griffins offense. These little short screens don't seem to be working. These safeties are playing up right now. This is where you need to try to take some shots down the field.
It's going to be a loss of 2 on the pass, setting up 2nd down and 12 for the Golden Rams. 3 wide receiver set. Elder to deep back. Moriarty, low snap, nearly down. They're going to blow it dead since his knee touched the ground.
It did look like his knee touched the ground right there. That's a low snap. That's another miscue for this Westchester offense.
It's going to be a false start on Westchester. It's going to be pushing back another 5 yards, so they're going to blow it dead.
And this is why Westchester has so much trouble scoring. It seems like when they're trying to get an offense or a drive put together, or even when they do get a drive put together, they have penalties that come at costly times.
2nd down and 17 for Moriarty. 3 wide receiver set, 2 running backs. It's going to be a handoff to Eddie Elliott, who's going to bounce back, change direction, still on his feet. And he's going to be near the 1st down. He's going to be spotted at the 39. What a run by Eddie Elliott.
How about the vision there by Eddie Elliott, changing directions, kind of like, Barry Sanders-esque there. And you see Pat Moriarty, when he changes direction, throwing a block there. His quarterback showing out for his running back. That's what you like to see.
And you have to count for Elliott. As we were saying earlier, he's been in the backfield. He's been in the slot, and he's been on the outside. something the Griffins are going to have to talk about at halftime. As Moriarty now puts Elliott in motion, they're going to fake it to Elliott, who's coming back on the cross pattern. That's Elder going down the sideline, lowered his shoulder, and he's going to be into Griffin territory.
Hey, Elliott just put the hat on the defender right there. No worry, no wiggle room to go. Doesn't try to shake the defender. Instead, puts it right on him, knocks him backwards past the first down marker. Keep moving the chains here for the Rams.
It's going to be 2:25 on the clock as Westchester can continue to wind it down before the half. They still have their timeout, so
The 2-minute warning is on their side. They have all of their timeouts. They might try to get one more play here before the 2-minute warning, but they definitely got the Griffins on their heels right here, looking scared.
coming up at halftime is the National Guard report as Moriarty is going to look deep down the field, intended for Young. Incomplete. Had a one-on-one matchup.
And it looked like Young turned around and misread the ball. He thought the ball was going to be a little short, so turned his back completely. Instead, he should have kept running. If he would have kept running, that was probably the first ball I've seen from Moriarty that it was but at the perfect spot, but his receiver turned around, couldn't make the play.
2 minutes on the clock, 2nd down and 10 from the 47.
But I like the shot down the field by the Golden Rams. Don't play conservative. You have the lead, plus you're not getting the ball after halftime.
There was a few players who moved early. It's going to push the Rams back 5 more yards.
Another penalty here by this Westchester offensive line. That's got to be fixed in the second half. Can't keep having these miscues. This is momentum killers for their offense.
It's going to push them back into their own territory, so it's going to put the ball on the other side of the 50. But the man to look right here in the slot is Brown as he enters the game.
Yeah. Hey, they're trying to bring him on the field a little quietly here so the Griffins don't notice, but if you have an All-American tight end, you can't go unnoticed.
Brown goes down. It's going to be Moriarty. He's going to go on the crossing pattern once again. Elder making a move, and they're going to spot him out of bounds, but not before the first down.
Hey, how many times have we seen Elder just come sweeping across the slant there for these little 2-yard dump-off passes that gain in the first downs? The Griffins do not have him keyed in. They're going to have to fix that in the second half, or Elder's just going to keep getting these big gains.
Something you've seen Eddie Elliott do in the past is he comes across the field. Now it looks like Elder is going to be that responsibility.
And they have these two backs that are interchangeable. Elliott and Elder can both run those little slant crossing patterns, and both can come over for the end around.
It's going to be a handoff to Elder up the gut, but not before a good pickup of about 3.
Hey, good established run right there. You got some big plays down the field, good pass plays. Why not mix in a run and over there? Keep this defense on their heels, keep them off balance.
Moriarty comes out for 3 wide receiver set, even though Brown is down as a tight end. Moriarty looking to his right. He's going to loft it, intended for Elder. They're going to mark it complete.
Hey, great catch there by Elder, laying out for the football. Also, good throw by Moriarty. Didn't have a huge window to put it in, but put it where only his receiver can get it, and it's 3rd and short.
Applying the pressure on Moriarty was Jaquan Thompson, the defensive lineman, but not before a timeout. It's going to be 3rd down and 2 of 117. What do you do if you're Coach Vaughn?
You keep the pressure on right here. You have about a minute on the clock.
The clock is still running, though.
I think there's a little miscue with the clock, as the clock is still running. But when Westchester gets it back, they'll have about a minute on the field to put the ball in. But you're inside your own 30. There's no rush. I don't think anybody notices the clock issues right here, Davis. The clock is winding down, but we're in timeout.
So it's going to be 3rd down and 1. So what do? Do you run the ball to Elder? Do you try another crossing pattern? You play coach.
I say we run the ball right here. Let's pick up the first down, and then we'll go from there. We pick up the first down, then we have 4 more downs to work with. If you try to throw the football, it could be an incomplete pass, then we got to settle for 3. Or the worst-case scenario happens, they pick off the ball, and now the Griffins have a little bit of momentum, and they're able to score. So why don't we run the ball here? Let's pick up the first down, then we'll go for the end zone.
Remember, the clock stops after every first down, so that's another thing to consider. So Moriarty's going to come out. Shotgun formation, Elder. No, that's going to be Young and Elliott in the backfield. Ellie goes out to the left side. Moriarty looking for him. He's going to make a spin move, gets out of the way. He's going to tuck it under and pick up the first down.
That's a big-time play from a big-time player right there. Pat Moriarty spins out of the defense. Looks like it's a sure sack. Spins out, able to pick up the first down and a little bit more. Now we're in the red zone. Now we're talking.
They're going to spot the ball on the 16-yard line with a minute to go. The clock continues to wind down. Tim Brown's going to be on the far side. Someone to keep an eye on in the red zone as they're going to burn a timeout here.
So, Dave, I said that I would like to run the ball in that position. They did kind of that as they ran the football, but Moriarty takes it off for a rush.
You're watching this presentation of Westchester University football on SFBN.
Hey, you.
Who, me?
You like pro sports?
Yeah,
You like college sports?
of course.
You like high school sports?
I guess.
Maybe you just don't know much about them.
Where can I go to learn more about Philadelphia area high school athletics?
Watch Varsity Voice every other Wednesday, 6 p.m. on TCN.
Wide receiver set for Moriarty. He's looking to dump it. He's going to throw the ball away, but it looks like there's going to be a flag on the play.
A good decision there by Moriarty. We don't want to try to throw it down the field while we're falling out of bounds, but again, taking a sack makes it that much tougher for the offense to score. Throw it away. Let's keep it where we're at.
In that position, I think a hold almost better than a sack because it stops the clock conditionally, but that's where the flag was thrown in the vicinity.
In the area of holding right there. Offensive lineman trying to keep his quarterback from getting sacked, but then again, that causes a penalty in the offense. Let's back it up here for Westchester.
Play will be a hold on the Golden Rams. Just going to push them all the way back to the 26-yard line.
Dave, you're still not that far from the end zone. You're 6 yards out of the red zone, and you still have 43 seconds left on the clock. There's not an intense amount of pressure here on Westchester, but can't afford too many more mistakes here.
Something to look forward to is that screen or crossing pattern as they utilize in the second quarter. Moriarty comes out, shotgun formation, 3 wide receiver set, looking to his right. It's going to be intended for Eddie Alley, who comes down with it, and he is wrestled down. It's going to be at the 10-yard line. Pick up a 16 as the clock continues to tick.
Hey, main player on this drive right here is Eddie Elliott. Having 2 big plays out around midfield, moving the chains, now comes up with a great catch to put him back in the red zone. Eddie Elliott is showing out over here on this drive.
It's a great grab by Elliott. Almost like a box out as he went up for the ball, was able to get position.
And met the ball at his highest point. Like you said, a box out, coming down with the rebound, coming down with that football.
It's something to keep an eye on as Elliott has been able to get the ball from every position on the field as the Golden Rams continue. You got second down, you're on the 10-yard line. You would think the next 3 passes are going to be through the air.
Of course, and you know exactly who they're going to be looking for is their All-American tight end, Tim Brown, who actually only has 1 catch in this first half, but he's a big red zone threat. And then again, we know that the Seton Hill defense knows that, so they might be keying out on him. But when they double team and triple team Brown is when Elliott and Elder come through in that little sweeping slant, and that's how they got those big gains. So many options here for Moriarty to work with right here in the red zone. Big scoring opportunity here for the Golden Rams.
Key players to give an eye on. Elder scored on the first drive for the Golden Rams to find the end zone. Quinn Young, the other running back, was able to get in the end zone as well. So both running backs scoring through the air.
And it's a running back by committee, but it's not a running back running by committee. It's running back passing by committee.
Right.
There's so many running backs that can come out of the backfield for Westchester and score.
Moriarty is going to come out. It's going to be shotgun formation once again for the Golden Rams. Second down and 4, 28 seconds before the half. going looking to his left. He's going to loft it into the end zone off the hands of his intended target and Mayer.
They brought the big boy Mayer in to try to throw it up to him. Almost brings it down just a little bit out of his reach. Second down here for or third down, sorry, for the Golden Rams.
And that's a situation where you're glad he threw it almost higher, so that's the only position his wide receiver is going to be able to come down with the ball, as Elliott was in that area as well. Something to keep an eye on as Mayer's in the slot once again. Elliott's on the near side. Moriarty's looking to his left. He's going in that area. Once again, incomplete, out of bounds to the back of the end zone. It's going to be 4th down and 4. They're going to bring in the kicking unit.
And it seems like Westchester said, hey, we had so much success with that play. Let's go right back to it. Try to go back to the same player in the same spot. But again, another overthrow by Moriarty. He needs to bring these passes down. There's many opportunities that they're missed. But let's try to get 3 on the board here for Westchester.
It's going to be a 27-yard kick for Brandon Paulson. Snap is good. Kick is up. Kick is good. Westchester adds 3 on the board to give them a 17-10 lead with 14 seconds remaining before the half.
Hey, and first career field goal attempted made for that kicker. So props to you, young fella. Way to come in and step up big.
14 seconds. You probably don't want to give it to their playmakers. Expect a squib kick here.
And we saw what happened by McLean on the last 2 kick returns. Able to get it past the 50 on both times. We definitely don't want that happening again. So you're right here, Dave. Squib is the way to go.
Westchester getting everybody involved today, though. As you've seen Mara get targets, Eddie Elliott, both running backs, even Tim Brown coming back. So something to keep an eye on. There's not one main threat.
And everybody here taking turns on the offense. Moriarty doing a good job of distributing the football so that Griffins can't key in on one player. Everybody making plays.
Beautiful day on this Saturday afternoon. Is Hall of Fame Day, Family Day, great crowd. It's great to see.
Couldn't ask for a better atmosphere for a football game, really, Dave. And I'm enjoying it. Hope you're enjoying it. It's a great day for football.
Any day of football season's a great day, James.
I hear that. I hear that.
Kicking away for the Rams is big 46 Paulson. Returning is McLean. Paulson gets ready to kick it off. It will be a squib, but they're going to throw a flag on it as someone might have been offsides or.
And we saw this from the Griffins in the first quarter. Westchester guilty of the same offense here. That's not what you want, because if we have to schedule a re-kick, that backs them up, makes it easier for the Griffins.
That's a handful of penalties for the Rams in this first half.
Way too many, way too many. And you can see it stifle drives and stifle opportunities here. I mean, we could be looking at a much higher scoring game if Westchester doesn't have all these penalties that keeps backing up their offense.
Remind you, there's only 14 seconds before halftime, but the Griffins have lethal wide receivers.
Lethal weapons. They returned a punt last week, so they're not above taking it to the house on any given special teams opportunity. So Westchester, not a squib kick won't just prevent them. They can still field it and take it to the house. Once the squib kick is fielded, they need to make sure that McLean isn't able to break a lane.
But something to keep an eye on. The Griffins threw it from 50 once. They'll throw it from 50 again.
And all they need is an opportunity. Don't let them get in good field position, because anything can happen.
Paulson gets ready to boot this one once again. It's going to be a squib kick. It's going to bounce over his head, and it's going to roll out of bounds. That's going to draw another penalty.
And, you know, it was a great squib kick on the bat, jumping right over the head of the second line of the kick return team. But smart play by the Griffin returners, letting that ball bounce out of bounds.
Everett, number 87, bounced over his head, and they're going to make him re-kick it once again.
And there's so many re-kicks here. And you would think it's weird. Do we have 3 kicks in the same, on the same play? But 2 penalties here by Westchester. One you'll live with, because it's a squib kick that happened to bounce out of bounds, so that's not really a miscue. But still, so many opportunities here for the Griffins. Keep giving them opportunities. They may take advantage of one.
But you know where the kick is going. He's kicked it twice to Everett's side on the near side, number 87. Something to keep an eye on.
And it's also something to keep an eye on that if Everett gets a clean opportunity to field the ball, all he needs to do is field it, and he only needs to go about 5 or 10 yards for their in striking distance for the Griffins offense. So Westchester backed up right now to their own 25.
You have to be careful because now the ball's on the 25. You might get a good return if they're able to get it past midfield.
Exactly.
This time he kicks it high end over, and it's going to be taken from the 15. And he's going to be stacked up on the 32. That's number 8 with the return. That's going to be Joshua.
So good kick return defense that time. You really had no other option but to do a little pooch kick there, Dave. Couldn't do another squib because then you run the risk of it going out of bounds again, and you're backed up to your about 20 or 15 yard line to try to do a kick. So they had to kick it deep right there, but good defensive kick return special teams.
The Griffins look intent on just going to the half. It looks like they're going to take a knee as the Golden Rams are up 17-10.
Yeah, not trying to take any chances here. In this situation, this is where players get hurt. This is where freak stuff happens. So just take the knee. You get the ball back in the second half.
Strong takes a knee. That will do it for the first half. Westchester leads 17-10. Final thoughts going into the half.
I'm very happy with the Westchester defense. I said they needed to step up big and be a very pivotal part of this first half, and they were, coming up with the interception, stopping Seton Hill both times when they had their drive start on the Westchester side of the football. So great job for this Westchester defense.
That will do it for the first half. You're watching this presentation of Westchester University football on SFBN.
Hi, I'm Marty Bystrom, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. In my experience in Major League Baseball, I know how important it is for high school athletes to gain exposure. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you are a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
Bluestein, Michael & Company, certified public accountants, believe that your bottom line is as important to them as it is to you. Why? Because they care about the things that you care about. Whereas most accountants can take your numbers and put them on financial statements and tax returns, Bluestein Stein and Michael work with you through the year to help you solve problems by providing sound professional advice. They enable you to make key business decisions, and they are with you throughout the entire year, not just tax time. Stein and Michael are not just hired hands. They are part of your team, and they provide professional service when you need it most. Stein and Michael specialize in accounting, tax, and consulting services for small businesses, primarily for the construction industry. If you're looking for yes men, hire someone else. But if you want sound advice from service-oriented CPAs, then you'll want to call Stein and Michael at 215-635-3200. That's Stein and Michael at 215-635-3200.
Sports Fan Base Network, this area's leader in high school sports broadcasting, is continually bringing you the most in-depth coverage. Join us for Varsity Voice every other Wednesday at 6 p.m. on TCN, where we'll have interviews with players, coaches, writers, and more, plus analysis, highlights, and in-depth features on major topics in the Delaware Valley high school sports community. Tune in every other Wednesday at 6 p.m. on TCN for the best high school sports show around, Varsity Voice, presented by SFBN.
me?
Yes, you. Do you like pro sports?
Yeah,
You like college sports?
of course.
You like high school sports?
I guess.
Maybe you just don't know much about them.
Hey, voice in the sky.
Huh?
Where can I go to learn more about Philadelphia area high school athletics?
Just watch Varsity Voice every other Wednesday at 6 p.m. on TCN.
Hi, I'm Tommy Green, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. When I was in high school, it was very important to me to show scouts what I could do. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you're a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
And welcome back. Now it's time for the Pennsylvania Army National Guard halftime report. For more information about how to attend college full-time tuition-free and serve in the Army National Guard part-time, contact Master Sergeant Tyrone Minkins at 215-880-3409. Now we welcome you to the halftime report. Now, we had the halftime stats, and what stood out in our mind were the penalties, and there were a plethora of them.
11 penalties for a total of 75 yards. That's way too much in the first half for Westchester, especially for an offense that prides himself on being so technical and so fluid. You can't have that many mental mistakes on the offensive end. Stymies drives. Without those, we may be looking at a much higher score.
One of the things we also looked at was the amount of carries each running back had to begin the game. There isn't one running back that has all the carries. Elder has the majority of them, but in addition, you've seen Eddie Elliott, Aaron Young, and Moriarty getting on the board.
Exactly. So we saw Elder have 9 total carries, and it goes to Elliott with 4 and Young with 2. Elder has 47 yards, Elliott with 33, and Young with 18. They're getting every back involved, which creates so many headaches and nightmares for the Griffins defense, and we can see that it's working and paying off with those big gains and big runs in the first half.
Westchester got the big field goal at the end of the half to put points on the board to make it a touchdown game. It's going to be 17-10, and we're going to send it down on the field to Frankie. What do you got?
Thanks, Dave. Welcome to halftime. At the start of the second quarter, quarterback Pat Moriarty found running back Aaron Young for a touchdown to secure the Rams' 14-3 lead. Later on, they had a successful drive setting them up for field goal range, securing their 17-10 lead going into halftime. Stay tuned. After the half, I have Rams head coach Bill Zwan with me on his thoughts on the game. Dave, back to you.
Thank you, Frankie. As Westchester's going to look, they're going to boot this one away to begin the second half. What can they do defensively to stop this aerial attack of the Griffins?
Do everything that they're doing already. You see, I said the secondary needs to step up big in this game. That was something I was keying on in the first half, and they're doing a great job of that. They let up the one big pass play, but that's okay. We have many drives that have started on their own territory for Seton Hill that have not come up in scoring positions. We've already had an interception. We've already had a takeaway. This defense is stepping up big, playing as a collective unit, which is what I wanted to see.
As Westchester leading passer is Pat Moriarty, who's 14 of 29 for 160 and 2 touchdowns. He did take the 1 sack, but 2 touchdowns, not much to complain about.
And that goes to show you the good offensive day that Westchester is having. Pat Moriarty, not only does he have 160 yards, but he's targeting a bevy of receivers here. So look to see that their All-American tight end Tim Brown gets a little bit more involved in the second half for this offense, as he's only had 1 catch.
And that is the halftime report. As the band is still on the field. You're watching this presentation of Westchester University football on SFBN.
Hi, I'm Tommy Green, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. When I was in high school, it was very important to me to show scouts what I could do. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you're a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
Thanks, Dave. We're back with head coach Bill Zwan. Coach, tell me your impression so far in the first half of the game.
Well, our defense played pretty well. Offense struggling a little bit. Wait, too many penalties constantly. We got to stop those mistakes. Made a couple mistakes on the kickoff team, which hurt us. If we correct some things, we'll be okay. But we got to stop making these big mistakes.
And what are you looking to see from them second half?
Well, hopefully the defense keep playing for us, and then offensively we need to get moving a little bit and hit some of the guys that we have open. We got to get Pat to play a little bit better.
Coach, thank you very much. Start of the second half here. Rams lead 14-10. Dave, back to you.
Thank you, Frankie. As one of the things we talked about is in the halftime report, the amount of penalties, you couldn't think Coach Zwan was happy about it.
And I can't believe that Westchester's going to come out in a similar fashion here in the second half. They're going to look to really improve on those mistakes and those turnovers. Another key point that he hit on, Dave, was the play of Pat Moriarty. He does have 160 yards in that first half, but has potential for a lot more. As he said, his sophomore quarterback needs to play a little bit better.
As Westchester will get ready to kick it off to begin this second half, Paulson gets the signal. Kick is up. Kick is going to be taken from the 5-yard line. And he's going to make a move, but he's going to be stacked. That's a good play by Clan to try and move around, but good special teams by the Rams early on.
And you saw Coach Bill Zwan talk about the special teams play. He said too many miscues on the special teams for big plays. That's something that we're probably very much focused on in the second half. First play from kickoff, a very good play by the Westchester special teams player. Stymies them inside their own 20.
Mike Class coming in on special teams with the stop. That was set up first down and 10 on the 17 for the Griffins. Strong in at quarterback is going to go empty backfield, 4 wide receiver set. In motion will go 82. It's going to be a handoff to the big fella who's going to stop Andrew Cohen in the middle.
A great push for that Westchester defensive line. Let's not get anything confused with this defense. They're here to play. They're up front. They're pushing. They're getting into the backfield. Not trying to let this Griffins offense get into any rhythm early in the second half. Great job.
That was Logan Carnes on the carry, the wide receiver coming back in motion. It's going to be an empty backfield once again. 4 wide receiver set. McLean goes in motion. Strong's going to look his way. It's going to be complete, and it's going to be dragged down. Ball's going to be spotted on the 29. Good job to reel it in. Was the wide receiver number 11, Eric Brown.
Hey, makes a defender miss in the open field, gets upfield, gets past the first down markers, move the chains for the Griffins. Good start on offense.
As something you see, they're completely taking away the running game. Just going, we're going to pass it, stop us.
They're making a Westchester, good for Westchester's defense, making Seton Hill's offense be one-dimensional, but then you got to stop that one dimension.
Clam takes the handoff, gets tripped up in the backfield. It's going to be a loss of about 1, but you're seeing a lot of wide receivers get the handoff instead of the running backs.
And maybe trying to switch up looks, maybe trying to confuse this Westchester defense. Doesn't seem to be working now. A loss of 1. Looks like the wide receiver on the handoff tripped over Strong, the quarterback on the handoff there.
One player you haven't seen is their main running back, Stout, so it could be due to an injury or just a decision to go through the air. Regardless, it's shotgun formation, trips to the near side. Strong's looking on the crossing pattern in his tackle. Good open field tackle by the Rams. That's number 45. That's Dugan, the middle linebacker.
And I told you, Dugan, the little middle linebacker, kind of the quarterback of this defense, holding them together. Makes a great tackle in the open field. Does not allow the wide receiver to get upfield. Great play. Sets up 3rd and short.
3rd down and 7 with 13 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter. Rams lead 17-10.
Now let's see if the secondary for the Rams can hold up here. Don't want to have a big passing play down the field to get a first down. Let's stop them and get the ball back.
Strong, empty backfield once again. He's looking to his left. He's going to step up in the pocket. He's going to tuck it under, and he's going to be tripped up. That is a great open field tackle by the Rams.
Great coverage downfield. Strong had absolutely nowhere to go with the football. Alexa tuck and run, trying to get the first down by himself, but that great open field tackle doesn't let him get to the chains. Griffins forced to punt.
4th down and 4. Out comes the punting unit for the Griffins.
And we saw in that first half 3 very sloppy punts by the Griffins. End over end kicks very short. They were lucky to get a fortunate bounce to their side. Let's hope that they can have better success in their punting unit.
Hodge punts it away. Returning for the Rams is Anthony Brown, who gives the fair catch signal. Bobbles the ball, jumps on top of it, though. It's going to be spotted on about the 37.
Hey, good starting position here for Pat Moriarty. You heard Coach Swan said he needs to come out in the second half and play a little bit better. No better way than to start up the first drive with a very good possession and a score.
Drive will start with 11:51 on the clock. Ball will be spotted on the 38. Something to keep an eye on. You see multiple running backs. Maybe they'll get the running game started in the second half.
And why not? They got it established in the first half, but it seemed to work wonders there with the running back by committee. So they're going to start out with Elder in the backfield, but don't be surprised if Elliott and Young both see carries here in this first possession.
Moriarty shotgun formation. Is going to go up to the snap. Might be changing a play on audible. Driggins goes in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Elder up the middle. He's going to bounce off a defender. Ball's going to be spot on the 42. It's going to be a pickup of 4.
Elliott got tripped up, Elder seemed to get tripped up there in the hole. Had a few lanes if he was able to break it. Good solid 4-yard run though.
Offensive lines is beginning their momentum now. They're getting a few good blocks, especially towards the end of the first half. As Moriarty comes out, 3 wide receiver set. Elder's going to get the handoff once again off to the left side. He's going to juke, and he's going to fall down. It's going to be at the 46, gain of 4, so it's going to set up 3rd and short.
And Dave, you hit it on the nose. You said that this offensive line is starting to get a good push. That's what happens when you establish your running game. You don't get this offensive lineman on their heels. You get them moving forward. You get momentum going. You get them push that defense back. Now they got 3rd and short. Plenty of options here for Moriarty.
Especially when you had 29 passing attempts in the first half. You only see the running game get a little more momentum, so they don't pin their ears back and go after Moriarty like they did. 3rd down and short. Moriarty puts Dempsey in motion. It's going to go to Elder off the middle. He's going to pick up the 1st down, keep driving his feet.
And we can see how Westchester is focusing their offense in their first drive. We're going to run it up your throats until you stop us. Good job. Way to pick up the chains. Way to keep the chains moving for Elder in this offense.
Chains keep moving indeed. It's going to be shotgun formation for Moriarty. 3 wide receiver set. So going to go to Glass. He's going off the left side. He's going to take defenders with him, but it's going to be on the 43. It's going to be a 5-yard gain, so you see the backfield by committee.
And you see this offensive line working hard. They're out in the secondary throwing blocks, pushing the pile. They're getting everybody involved here.
Interesting to see Glass getting Mike Class getting some carries early on in this 3rd quarter.
And usually that play goes to Elliott, and we saw that play go to Elliott many times in the first half. So like you said, running back by committee, maybe trying to switch up some looks here.
It's going to be Class, and he is going to be dropped. That is a big tackle by number 6 of Seton Hill. That's Robert Brown, who's been called often.
You see Robert Brown coming up and filling the hole from that free safety position. He's not afraid to come in the hole and lay the boom, and he shows it right there. Great play by the senior coming up, filling the hole. Sets up 3rd down for the Rams.
3rd down and manageable. 3rd down and 2. Something a little different than the first half. It was 3rd down 15, 3rd down and 10. Westchester's getting the running game going. It's going to be shotgun formation, 4 wide receiver set. Moriarty doesn't see he's going to throw over the middle. It's going to be nearly caught. That's going to be Tim Brown. And if he came down with that, that might have been top 10.
And Sports Center might have had to make a trip to Westchester after that play if he were able to bring it down. But, again, Moriarty overthrows his receiver just a tad bit on that one. Had a lot of pressure up in his face. Still able to get it off, but not able to complete it.
Almost a near sack. Throws it away. Westchester will be forced to punt. Punting it away is Brandon Paulson, the kicker and punter for this team. McClan back to return the punt. It's a clean kick. It is a high kick. See if it takes a bounce. It's going to take a Westchester bounce, and it's going to roll all the way down to the 10-yard line. So about a net of 30 yards for the Rams.
So he got the height on the punt, but didn't really get the distance. He was trying to pin them inside their own 10-yard line. Gets able to do it with the bounce, but The punt initially was not good, able to take a nice Westchester bounce, though.
Still pins him within the 10, so you might see something of Westchester pinning the ears back and trying to make a play.
Look for this defense to try to get in the Strong's grill early because they like to come out with the spread offense. How about blitz them, get a little bit of pressure in there?
It's going to be a fake to Stout and the running back, and the pitch it outside. That's number 17, and he has had a busy day as a Jarel Brown.
Well, you see they're trying to get him out in space. They're throwing a lot of screens his way on the outside, trying to free him up and trying to get him down that sideline because once he gets into space, he's a nightmare on that sideline.
At the half, Brown had 49 and a touchdown. He continues to add to his stats today. Strong shotgun formation. It's going to be a read option. He's going to be stacked up in the backfield. Number 41 of the Rams making the play. Great job by the Golden Rams defense. That's going to be Cooper, the junior.
Hey, we saw this all first half. These read options, these traditional options, they're not fooling this Westchester defense. They're staying home, staying committed to their positions, coming back and making plays in the backfield.
3rd down and 6 from the 14. Griffins come out, 4 wide receiver set. Westchester applying pressure up the middle. They pick it up well. He's going to throw it deep down the field. Intended for McLean. Incomplete. It's going to set up 4th down. And out comes the punting team.
McLean got tripped up there in traffic down the middle of the field. Good defense by Westchester. The secondary is really stepping up when they're needed to be.
Returning the kick for the Golden Rams will be Brown. So Westchester's got a plethora of running backs. Anthony Brown, in addition to Mike Class, you got Brandon Monk, who was not suited up today, but phenomenal running back class.
And you see they all present different styles and different uniqueness. Elliott can get to the edge and really break you, and it's a nightmare in space. Elder can drop the boom on you, so they're throwing a different looks at this Griffins defense.
Hodge takes the punt. It's going to take a Griffin bounce. Ball is going to be spotted on the 47, about a 33-yard kick, but Westchester in Griffin territory.
In Griffin territory, and this is what we're talking about. When opportunities present themselves, you need to capitalize. Moriarty is starting in Griffin territory here. And a big focus for Westchester, no penalties. This is where we see some of the penalties happen when they start off in Griffin territory, and it hurts their offense. So right now is when we focus, no mental mistakes. Let's put some points on the board here.
Young checks in, is the deep back shotgun formation for the Rams. In motion goes Driggins. It's going to be a penalty. I think you jinxed it, James.
I did. I should have kept my mouth shut there, Dave. But this is what we're talking about. If it goes on Westchester, it's exactly what has hurt them in the first half. And Coach Bill Swan cannot be happy with his offensive line from this standpoint.
1st down and 15 will push them back on their side of the 50. It's going to put the ball on the 48-yard line, something Coach Swan wanted to avoid, but it's going to be a teaching moment later on.
It's a game of field position, and when you get good field position, don't give good field position away. You start in Griffin territory, the last thing you want to do is beat yourself and go on the opposite side of the 50, but now Westchester has an uphill battle to climb.
Moriarty comes out, shotgun formation, Young behind him. Moriarty's looking to his right. He's going to hit the crossing pattern. That's Mayer going along the sidelines. Almost picks up the 1st down. It's going to depend on the spot.
How about a little bit of breakaway speed there from the big fellow Mayer? Catches it in the middle of the field, immediately tucks it, tries to head for the sideline, and it looks like he did pick up the 1st down.
They're going to move them chains as Westchester continues to air out the ball. A lot of crossing patterns in this offense.
And until the Griffins defense can prove to stop them, they're going to keep running these crossing patterns. These safeties are playing deep, opening up the short middle of the field for Moriarty.
It's going to be a handoff to Young up the gut, but big number 50, that's going to be 94. That's a great play by the defensive lineman. That's Atia, and I've called his name often as well.
And we finally see the Griffin front 7 start to get some push there. I think that came because they were sending a blitz. You can see sending the 8-gap blitz right up the middle into Moriarty's face. Moriarty not able to recognize it, doesn't change the play call, and because of that, nowhere to run for Young.
Loss of 1 on the carry. 6:48 on the clock for the Rams. 2nd down and 11. Moriarty comes out, 3 wide receiver set. Dempsey in the slot. He's looking, going deep down the field. Going down towards the end zone. A lot of contact, but no flag was thrown. Intended for Eddie Elliott.
It looked like Moriarty was trying to throw Elliott open, trying to throw to that back shoulder, but Elliott wasn't able to spin around. Like you said, Dave, a lot of contact, but refs letting them play here. No flag thrown. Third down for Westchester.
Might have been thrown over his head as well. It might have been uncatchable. There's a few different things. Elliott came back, so it's an interesting play call.
And this is what Ron was talking about with this quarterback. We need these good throws. You can't be throwing behind the receiver, over your receiver's head. You need to be able to let your receiver make a play on the ball.
Third down and 11, shotgun formation. Moriarty has a free blitzer. He is hit as he's thrown. It is caught. It's going to be touchdown, Golden Rams. That's Mayer from 38 out.
And right when I criticize Moriarty, he does something to take my criticism right away. Steps up in the pocket, sees the rush coming to him, stands tall, takes the hit, delivers a great throw down the seam. Mayer catches it, score for the Rams. This is what I'm talking about. Get momentum on your side. Score first in the half. The fans here loving it.
That is his third touchdown pass of the day, and I don't think it's any better than that, as Mayer was able to get the pass in for a touchdown. He stood in the pocket and took a hit. For the extra point is Paulson. It is up. It is good. Westchester takes a 24-10 lead. 4 plays, Westchester scores. You're watching this presentation of Westchester University football on SFBN.
Bluestein, Michael and Company, certified public accountants, believe that your bottom line is as important to them as it is to you. Why? Because they care about the things that you care about. Whereas most accountants can take your numbers and put them on financial statements and tax returns, Bluestein and Michael work with you through the year to help you solve problems by providing sound professional advice. They enable you to make key business decisions, and they are with you throughout the entire year, not just tax time. Bluestein and Michael are not just hired hands. They are part of your team, and they provide professional service when you need it most. Bluestein and Michael specialize in accounting, tax, and consulting services for small businesses, primarily for the construction industry. If you're looking for yes men, hire someone else. But if you want sound advice from service-oriented CPAs, then you'll want to call Bluestein and Michael at 215-635-3200. That's Bluestein and Michael at 215-635-3200.
Paulson with the kick as McLean's able to bring it all the way out to the 42-yard line, able to keep his balance while running up the field. The kid can do it all.
What a day McLean is having from a return standpoint. 3 returns of 40 yards or more. This kid is setting up the Griffins offense with great field position time after time again. But I don't know if it's the Griffins not capitalizing or Westchester's defense coming up big, but they're still not able to put many points on the board. Let's see what Strong can do here on this first drive.
Even at a young level, you're always told stay in your lanes. And that might be one thing to look at. As Strong comes out, it's going to be trips to the near side in that shotgun formation. It's going to be a fake, and it's going to be caught by number 17, who called his name all day in Brown.
Great hit, though, by the Westchester corner. Way to come up. As soon as you see he's about to catch the ball, come on, lay a hit on him, but also great catch. Way to hold on to the football.
Brown picks up 6, setting up 2nd down and 4 for the Griffins. 4 wide receiver set. Strong looking to the near side. It's a slam pattern, and it's going to be incomplete. Number 86 on the play. Latherbury looking for the flag.
And yeah, Latherbury over the middle looking for the flag, but I don't know, it looked like great defense there from Westchester. Didn't seem to have much contact. Going for the football right there. 3rd down and short here for the Griffins.
3rd down and 4, 5:49 on the clock. Strong comes out. He's going to be looking. He's going to throw over the middle, and he has a wide receiver going down the field. That's going to be, guess who? Brown once again scores for the Griffins.
A lot of confusion there for Westchester in their secondary. We had about 4 defensive backs covering 1 receiver. Didn't even see my man's right over the top, wide open for the touchdown. This is the miscues we can't happen. That's a mental mistake. You need to know where your players are at all times.
2 plays scored from distance. Brown's just broken 3. There seemed to be miscommunication on that play. Regardless, to kick the extra point, it is up. It is good. Baltimore makes it a 24-17 game.
And both of Seton Hill's scoring drives have come on either 2 plays or 4 plays. Very short scoring drives, which can only mean mishaps in the secondary. They're allowing big plays from big-time players.
3 plays for 58 yards. Coach Swan cannot be happy with that play because there seem to be 3 secondary players hovering over that crossing route, and they left Brown open deep.
And this is what's deflating for a team. When it takes you 4 minutes, 5 minutes to score, and then the opposition comes down and scores in a minute or a minute and a half. Can't have that.
With that said, all refreshments for the SFBN crew today are provided by Body Armor, the official sports drink of SFBN. Body Armor is an all-natural super drink and is a healthier alternative to Gatorade or vitamin water with 2.5 times more electrolytes than Gatorade and double the vitamins of vitamin water. For more information, go to www.drinkbodyarmor.com. Ready to kick this one away is Baltimore. Returning is Young and Elder. Kick is up underway. Takes a bounce. It's going to be picked up about the 10-yard line for Young. He's going to go all the way down to the 30-yard line, so about a net of 20.
Great return there by Young. Picked it up off the hop. Looked to mishandle a little bit, but gets back on track. Good starting position here for the Rams. Let's see if they can put another scoring drive together.
Rams come out with the 7-point lead up 24-17 with 5:32 on the clock. I'd like to duplicate the last drive as Mayer is able to get open and score that touchdown. 3 throwing touchdowns for Moriarty today.
And that's what you want to see from your sophomore quarterback. Getting everybody involved, 2-3 touchdowns to 3 different receivers.
There seems to be confusion as there's motion going across the offense. It's going to be a handoff to Elder going up the gut. And he has some running room. He's at the 50, 45, and he is tripped up, but there is a flag in the secondary.
A flag and a Griffin defender slow to get up. That looks like their senior free safety, but he seems to be getting up. Great run there by Elder, right up the gut. And you see Westchester keeping this running game going. The Griffins still have yet to present a solution to this running game, and until they do, keep running it right up their throats.
Brown's going to check out of the game as he appears to be injured, but it seems to be a personal foul. Face mask at the end of that run will tack on an additional 15 yards. Westchester's in business.
Hey, finally a penalty that goes against Seton Hill and not against Westchester. This is where we're talking about capitalization. Let's take advantage on a miscue from Seton Hill, put some points on the board, get some breathing room.
Elder still is the deep back 4. 3 wide receiver set. Moriarty's looking to his right. He's going to throw it. It's going to be intercepted at the 13. That's going to be his first interception of the game, but it's picked off by number 36 of the Griffins. That's going to be the junior, Brandon Norman.
And a lot of pressure from that backside. Moriarty not able to see the defensive end coming over. Gets hit as he thrown. Takes some off the football. Big defensive play there by Seton Hill. Westchester needs to come back on defense and stop this offense right now.
But if your running game's going so well, Elder just picked up about 30 to 40 yards on that last carry to give Moriarty the time to throw the ball. He got hit once again, something to keep an eye on.
And it's weird because you think with the success they're having, they wouldn't be so quick to go to throwing the football, but they did, and they paid for it.
Stout's going to get tripped up in the backfield. For the Rams, that was some great penetration by Tom. I'm sorry, I didn't quite see that number. Did you see it, James?
Looked like number 35 for Westchester's defense.
That's Galliano, the Ram. And it's going to set up 2nd down and 9. It's going to be a 1-yard game, 4 wide receiver set. Strong's immediately going to throw the swing pass to Stout to the outside. Great block. He's going to be all the way down to the 37. So it's going to set up 3rd and short, but the block on Reeves really sprung that play.
A great block out in the open field. That's one thing that's big for wide receivers nowadays. If the ball's not thrown to you, don't stand there and ball watch. Go pick up a defender. Go hit a block. Try to spring your offensive player.
3rd down and 2 is going to be another quick pass to the outside, and that's going to pick up the 1st down.
Hey, smart play call there on 3rd and short. Let's not try to do too much. We don't want to turn the ball over. Quick pass over there to the outside of the screen. Just get it past the chains. Let's keep this drive going.
Eric Brown able to get those 2 yards. 1st down and 10 on the 41-yard line. 4 wide receiver set, 4 strong. Once again, he's going to swing past it. This time the Stout is going to have to come back. He's going to get a full head of steam, and he is going to be dropped. That was a huge hit by the Rams going to the outside.
Hey, all these short passes. But this is what happens. You bait the defense with these short passes. They bring those safeties up. But we've already seen that Seton Hill could go over the top of the Westchester defense.
And that's tonight's All-American Sporting Good hard hit of the game for all your sports equipment and apparel. Shop at All-American Sports Goods. Look at the corner of Cottman and Tabor in Northeast Philadelphia. For more information, call 215-342-6141 as a flag for a false start is on the play. It's going to back them up. It's going to be 2nd down and 14.
Hey, maybe the tides are turning here, Dave, in the second half. We saw Westchester get hit with about 4 or 5 false starts in the first half. That's already Seton Hall's second. So let's see if what Westchester can do with this as Seton Hill gets backed up here behind their own 40.
A lot more swing passes you see in the second half, trying to get their players open in space. And Strong's going to throw another screen pass out to the outside, who was tripped up by number 45 of the Rams. That's going to be Dugan, the middle linebacker.
And Westchester, their defense is smart. They're seeing patterns here. They're seeing, these screens that are people throwing, and they still have yet to run the football on this drive. So, it looks like Seton Hill is abandoning this running game because it obviously was not working in the first half.
4 wide receiver set. Strong's looking over the middle. He has his target, but he's going to be stopped short of the 1st down. Able to come down with that reception was Joshua.
A lot of pressure up in Strong's face. He's not able to go through all of his reads and all his progression. That's something that we were looking for from this Westchester front 7. Get pressure on the quarterback. Get in his face. Make it tough for him. And it looks like the Griffins are going to go for it here on 4th down.
Griffins leave their offense on the field. 4th down and 4. Shotgun formation. Strong's going to throw on the curl route, and he came down with it. It's going to be a 1st down.
Hey, Westchester brought the house there on that possession. Trying to get in Strong's face before he can make a throw, but he recognized it, gets the ball out quickly, gets it to his receiver. That's a 1st down.
Eric Brown knew where the sticks were. Plopped himself right there and able to pick up the 1st down as they go shotgun formation. It's going to be a handoff to the outside. That's going to be Jackson, the backup running back, who's going to pick up 10 yards. What a great run.
Great run. Breaking tackles out there in the second ring. Gets a hard hit laid on him. Keeps the feet moving. That's another 1st down. Seton Hill putting the drive together right here.
Jackson getting some action early. 1st down and 10 on the 37-yard line. Shotgun for Strong. He's looking deep down the field over the middle, intended for his target in Halfhill, the tight end, but unable to come down with it.
And a lot of contact on that play, too, in the secondary. These Westchester D-backs are playing very physical out there in the secondary. Got to be careful, though. Do not want to get a pass interference call on this drive.
2nd down and 10 for Strong and this Griffins offense. 4 wide receiver set. He's looking to his left. He's going to throw the crossing pattern. That's McLean. He's going to be able to get to the sticks. the crossing patterns for Westchester may have rubbed off on Seton Hill at halftime because that's all they're throwing.
Hey, Seton Hill seems to be adopting Westchester's style of offense. It seems like every time Westchester comes out with a scheme on offense, Seton Hill kind of matches it and mocks it and makes it their own. And they're moving right here, but 4th down and short, again, Seton Hill going for it.
4th down and 1. They're going to give it to Stout up the middle. He's got the 1st down and chains, running over defenders, finds in the end zone, touchdown. Seton Hill, they're within an extra point of tying this game up.
Oh, look at Stout, rumbling and bumbling right through the middle, does not take no for an answer, runs over a would-be tackler, gets in the end zone for 6, and they're an extra point away from tying this game up.
Westchester had an early lead, but all momentum is swinging towards the Griffins as the extra point will be kicked by Baltimore.
Great job by Seton Hill to capitalize off of the turnover, and that's what Westchester needs to do. Opportunities present itself, capitalize on them.
Kick is up, kick is good. Seton Hill gets all the momentum, tying this one up at 24 apiece. 57 seconds remaining. What can the Rams do to get back into this drive?
Well, there's only one thing, and that's they need to put the ball in the end zone. They need to not abandon what is working for them. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, Dave. The running game is working, and as soon as you try to mend it and try to go to the passing game too early, what happens? You get something that you don't want to happen. That's an interception for the sophomore quarterback, Pat Moriarty. So if you're driving, keep on driving with the running game.
For folks who missed it, that was coming off a turnover. Moriarty made his first mistake of the game, throws the interception as Westchester was striking. The Griffins were able to go down the field and put 7 on the board to get back into this game.
And maybe something on this drive can get going. Let's see if they can get Tim Brown into this offense. He still has 1 catch all day. This is an All-American tight end we're talking about. Let's get him to football. Let's get him integrated in this offense.
Baltimore ready to kick this one away. Back returning are Elder and Young. Very dangerous kick returners. Normally you would see Monk out there, but he is not dressed for today's game. Baltimore kicks it. It's going to go to... It's going to be Young taking about the 15. He's going to go down that sideline, and he's going to drag defenders into the bench, but they're going to have great field position to begin this drive, almost at the 40.
And that's exactly what you need. Hey, should jumpstart Westchester's offense. They start once again with good field position. Let's not give it away right here. Got to capitalize.
49 seconds remain in this 3rd quarter. Seton Hill knocking on the door with that touchdown off the turnover. See if Westchester can answer once again.
And the scoreboard doesn't really dictate the kind of the flow of the game. Westchester has pretty much been in command in this whole game, but
Right.
Seton Hill gets 1 opportunity. They strike. Now we have a tie football game. Westchester needs to come out here with points.
Elliott in the slot. Dempsey goes in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Elder up the gut. He's going to be able to pick up a gain of 2. It's going to be 2nd down and 8 as that clock in the 3rd quarter continues to tick away.
Hey, you're a running football team. We're having a running style offense today. So sometimes they're not all going to break for 20 yards, not all going to break for 15 yards. You're going to get maybe 1, 2, or 3 yards on some pops, but don't abandon a running game. That's what happens. It still opens up for the passing lanes.
Shotgun formation. Elliott goes in motion once again. He's going to get the swing pass. He has running room. He's at the 50, 45, 40. He's going to be taken down at the 30-yard line, so the swing pass proven to be effective.
And great cutback there by Elliott. He gets a block from his big receiver, Mayer, on the open field. Cuts back, able to cut up for a big, huge gain. This is what we need. This is what we're looking for Westchester's offense here.
With that catch, it's going to conclude the 3rd quarter. Westchester is tied with Seton Hill, 24 apiece. You are watching this presentation of Westchester University football on SFBN.
The Sports Fan Base Network, this area's leader in high school sports broadcasting, is continually bringing you the most in-depth coverage. Join us for Varsity Voice every other Wednesday at 6 p.m. on TCN, where we'll have interviews with players, coaches, writers, and more, plus analysis, highlights, and in-depth features on major topics in the Delaware Valley high school sports community. Tune in every other Wednesday at 6 p.m. on TCN for the best high school sports show around, Varsity Voice, presented by SFBN.
Welcome back. Westchester is tied up 24 apiece. We're going to send it down to the sidelines. Frankie, what do you got for us?
Thanks, Dave. Seton Hill has tied it up 24-24. 15 minutes left to play in the game. Can the Rams hold it off for their first win of the season? Stay tuned and find out. Dave, back to you.
Thank you, Frankie, as Westchester is driving after that big catch by Eddie Elliott. You give him some space, he makes things happen.
We saw it all afternoon. We saw it in the first half. You give Elliott space, he's going to make something happen with the football. That's what Westchester needs to keep focusing on, getting their backs in space. Don't abandon what's working. We saw a little shallow crossing routes that are working, these little screen passes, the end arounds. Anything they can do to spring Elder and Young and Elliott into space, they need to do it.
Quick note, those Eddie Elliott tosses to the outside or behind the line of scrimmage, so they're technically runs that Elliott is getting. He has 5 carries for 59 yards as Moriarty is going to hand off to Elder right up the middle, keeps his feet, and he's going to be down at the 16-yard line, shot out of a cannon.
And with that carry, that should put Elder over 100 yards for the game. Very productive day for this back. And remember, this is the second string back we're talking about. The first string back, Monk, did not suit up for today, and Elder stepped right in and filled the shoes very well for the Westchester Golden Rams.
And with that carry, Elder goes over to Century Mark as they go no huddle, 3 wide receiver set. It's going to be another handoff to Elder, bouncing it to the outside, makes a juke move, finds the end zone. Touchdown, Golden Rams.
And how about this kid doing it all? Breaking tackles, finding seams. Elder is putting the offense on his back right now when his quarterback is starting to struggle. This is what I'm talking about. Don't fix it if it's not broken. Stay with the running game. It's been working all afternoon. Big play for Elder. Big play for the Rams. 6 points.
I'll be telling you, if I was Brandon Monk, I'd be worried about my starting position next week.
I'd either be worried or I'd be happy because this takes some pressure off of me. We've already had a running back by committee offense. Now we've got a running back by huge committee offense. If he can come back and produce like he was before he was out, Westchester could have a huge advantage for their offense.
Paulson puts it 30 uprights, giving the Golden Rams another touchdown, up 31-24. Defense needs to respond now.
Hey, defense needs a big stop. They've been working hard all afternoon, but they've led up back-to-back scoring drives. Can't afford another one right here.
Big play to give the Rams a lead early in this fourth quarter, but the quick strike offense of the Griffins is something to keep in mind.
And the defense, the secondary for the Westchester came out firing, came out great. Looked very cohesive as a unit, wasn't letting up big plays down the field, and now it seems like the wheels on the wagon are starting to fall off. Maybe they're getting too comfortable. Maybe Seton Hill's offense is starting to switch up looks. Whatever it is, they need to mend it because they need to stop right here.
Elder's had quite a game going over the century mark. He's a player to keep an eye on moving forward, but this Griffins aerial attack, Jarel Brown, 5 receptions for 114 yards, 2 touchdowns. You can't say enough about the kid.
Hey, he's doing it all today. Catching passes, scoring touchdowns. He's provided a great spark for this offense, a great spark for his quarterback Strong to go to. So it looks like the Westchester needs to key in on a certain player right here because we can't let him do any more damage.
Paulson gets ready to boot this one away. Kick is up. It's gonna be taken about the 20-yard line. It's gonna be fair caught, so the Rams catch a break.
I don't know if he meant to do that, Dave. He might have been calling for the ball for his backs to know that he wants to catch it, but in other words, he called for a fair catch. So Westchester starts with good field position for them, as you know, Seton Hill is gonna start inside their own 20.
With that fair catch, that was Khalil Howard, the running back. So it's very interesting you want to take that, especially from that position.
That's not a smart move right there. You either want to catch it and try to get upfield, or you want to run up and let your backs get it and try to get a jump start from your own 17-yard line and start the kick return from there. Nonetheless, Griffin's got an uphill battle.
4 wide receiver set for Strong. Is looking to his right. He's going to throw it deep down the sidelines, and it is going to be caught. Guess who? Brown once again.
Great double move by Brown on the inside. Goes in, then goes up. Strong puts a beauty of a ball on him, right in stride. Great pass, great catch. Griffins again with their hurry-up offense, not even letting Westchester rest.
Brown's going to have 6 receptions for over $140, He has been unbelievable. Now it's going to be tossed to McLean on the outside. He's going to get blown up, but not before a gain of 5.
Hey, great hit over there by the Westchester safety, coming over, recognizing the quick screen. No, he's going to try to get to the outside. Doesn't let him get to that edge. Lays a hit on him.
2nd down and 5 for the Griffins. There's 14 minutes on the clock. Down by 7 strong. Shotgun formation. Going down the seam. He has McLean. That's going to be touchdown. Griffins, quick strike offense, strikes again.
I can't say enough about this offense right now. Clicking on all cylinders. Another 3-play drive for a score. This is the definition of quick strike. Westchester cannot let them keep doing this because their offense is right back on the field. Their offense is tired.
In for the extra point. Baltimore's kick is good. Ties it up once again. So now we got a carousel going back and forth. You're watching this presentation of Westchester University football on SFBN. Welcome back after the quick strike offense. Seton Hill's back in it. McLean from distance. They're going to boot this one away, but it's been back and forth the entire second half.
And Westchester may want to try to switch up looks on defense. We're seeing a lot of man-to-man press coverage defense, and their corners are just getting beat right off the bat. Might want to go to a zone, maybe a man-2 with a zone up top with your free safeties. Something's got to be different.
Baltimore's kick. It's going to depend on the bounce. They're going to mark it out of bounds. Westchester's going to get great field position to begin this drive.
Hey, again, Westchester starting with great field position. We see a lot of themes in this game. Westchester starting with good field position, able to put points on the board last time on the back of Elder. Let's see if they can do it again.
See if Westchester decides to take the ball or re-kick. I'm going to assume they're going to take the ball and get on the 35.
That would be the smart thing to do.
And that's what they're going to do.
Your special teams hasn't been the hottest today, but your offense has. So give the ball to your offense, let it go down the field and score, put it back in the hands of your defense so they can get a stop.
Moriarty comes out once again. Ball's going to be spotted on the 35 with 13:54 on the clock. Fresh set of downs. Hurley's going to be on the far side. Elder to the deep back.
Again, no Tim Brown in the game.
It's going to be to Elder off the left side. He's going to be stuffed at the line of scrimmage by number 6 once again. Brown making his name known, but there is a flag on the play.
Brown is just shooting up in that gap, not letting Elder get to the edge. He had one tackle to break, and then he had Green in front of him, but we have another penalty on the field. And it looks like holding against Westchester.
And right on cue, Tim Brown enters the game.
We had another penalty for Westchester. Good news, it's the first penalty of this half. Bad news, it's the 12th penalty of the game. Way too many miscues, way too many penalties. Backing up the offense makes it that much tougher, especially when we're having such a hard time scoring.
First down and 20 after the holding penalty. Moriarty will come out. 3 wide receiver set. Elder to deep back. It's going to be a play action, and he's going to be sacked. He is thrown down by 92 of the defense. That's Petit Farrell, and he has been a monster on that defensive line.
So one of the consequences for having such a good running game is that the defense will decide one time, we're bringing the house. We're not going to let any holes open up. and then they go to the pass. And what happens when they bring the blitz? Moriarty gets swallowed up. Absolutely nowhere to go with the football. Has to take the sack. Now it's second down and an immensely long field ahead of them for the Rams.
The freshman coming in with a huge sack. He has to be a bright spot looking in the future of this program. Second down and 30. As there's going to be a timeout on the field. You are watching this presentation of Westchester University football on SFBN.
Hi, I'm Tommy Green, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. When I was in high school, it was very important to me to show scouts what I could do. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you're a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
Welcome back. Now, we were just talking at the break. Maybe go to the outside. Maybe try and get Eddie Elliott involved once again.
And he needs to be, because obviously your passing game isn't doing much for your offense today. So stick with what's working. Get your backs involved. Stay with the running game. Get out in these little flares and get your backs in space. Something needs to happen here.
And he's hiding. He's going to go in motion. It's going to be a fake to Elliott. It's going to be a backside screen that is caught. It's going to be Elder is going to go around the corner, but he's not going to pick up that many yards. So the misdirection doesn't work.
A lot of moves there by Elder on the outside, trying to shake one of these Griffin defenders away. Wasn't able to do it. Picks up a little bit, but we still got third down and a long field to go.
Now, this might be a situation where you'd rather just play it safe and punt the ball away instead of forcing it down the field and getting an interception.
Hand the ball off, play it safe, maybe get a couple yards, maybe to make it a little bit more manageable for your punter, but you got to play field position at this point.
Or an additional screen to Elliott, who's on the far side. It's going to be Moriarty looking to the right. He's going to go deep down the field for Hurley. He has the reception, 35-20. He is down the sidelines. What a great pickup. Completely goes from 20 to 20. Westchester is in business.
And Moriarty said, what do you know? What do you think you're talking about? He proves us wrong completely there. Goes deep, finds his receiver on the sideline. Big, huge play. Game of momentum. Now momentum's on Westchester's side, right outside the red zone. Let's punch it in here for 6.
And that's tonight's Stoll Agency play of the game. Stoll Bonds and Insurance specializes in the construction business industry. For all bonding, construction, insurance needs, please go to our website at www.stollagency.com. As the handoff goes to Elder, he's going to make a move. He's going to be down within the 10. He's going to be spotted at the 6. He makes a few men miss, and he is really rolling today.
It seems like every time he gets the ball, there's big play implications. Elder gets the ball. If he breaks it to the outside, nightmares for the Griffins defense. Hey, the last time we were in the red zone, Elder punched it in. He might do it again here, Dave.
First down and goal from the 6. Westchester has all momentum going their way. They're going to put Driggins in motion. It's going to go to Elder up the gut. He is going to be smacked at the line of scrimmage. Now that is a hit.
Hey, that's a big hit right there. But that doesn't change anything for Westchester's offense. We're having great success with the running game. One 1-yard carry doesn't change much. Keep going back to it. Stick with what's working.
Second down and goal. It's going to be no gain on the carry for Elder. He has to be feeling that last hit. It's going to be going to him once again. They are not fooled. It's 53 of the defense who's waiting for him. That's Martin.
And very surprising that they're sticking with this running game deep inside the red zone. Tim Brown is in the game. You would think they would try to get him involved with a little pass, but not working right here, staying with the running game.
We were just saying run the ball, run the ball. Now we're saying throw the ball. That's why I'm glad I'm not a coach.
Situational. Got to work with the situation. You have an All-American tight end, and you're in the red zone. This is what tight ends are used for.
Moriarty is looking deep down the 5. He's going to throw it on the curl. He's going to spin. Elder's going to be taken down within the 5. 54 with the touchdown saving tackle. That's Thompson.
Hey, good decision, though, by Moriarty. Didn't see anyone open in the end zone. Don't force it. Last thing you want in this area is another interception. So take the check down. Hey, who knew? Elder could have broken tackles and gotten the end zone. He doesn't. We'll take 3 points. Defense has got to come up big.
4th down and goal from the 3, not taking any chances. They're going to try and put 3 on the board.
Seems to be more confusion here.
Official timeout, might be an injury. Could be an equipment, could be a couple of reasons, but offensive lineman comes off the field. It's going to be a 20-yard attempt for Paulison.
Hey, Dave, you said this is glad why you're not a coach. I'm glad I'm not a referee.
Kick is good. Westchester goes back out on front, 34-31 with 9:30 on the clock. And what a game.
What a game we have here. But Westchester cannot feel good about being up only 3 points, because we've seen it only takes a max of 3 or 4 plays for this Griffins offense to score. Westchester's defense needs to bowl their necks, get into the quarterback's grill, not let him make these big plays down the field. They need to stop here. Simple as that.
Last drive for the Griffins went 3 plays, 58 yards for that touchdown. So they're a quick strike offense. We've seen it all day. I'm sure Coach Furlong's got his defense fired up to try and make a stop at the end of this game.
And Westchester's offense, we said, pass by committee, run by committee. Seton Hall's offense is not like that. We're seeing 1 or 2 main guys do most of the work for this offense. You cannot keep letting the same things happen to your defense over and over again. At some point, you got to put a stop to it.
Very interesting calls, because if Westchester ends up going down, do you go for it in that type of situation? I think you got to go for the points.
You got to take the points, especially with this kind of game that's going back and forth. You can't gamble, try to go for it, and not get it, then come away with no points. You got to take the points in this situation. You got to hope and have faith in your defense, who played well for most of this first half, but has been struggling in the second half.
About to kick it away is the redshirt freshman in Paulson. Returning for is McLean. Kick is underway. It's high end over end. And it's going to be spotted. It's going to be from the 20 is number 26, who is hit by a group of Rams. Returning that kick was Howard this time, so instead of getting the fair catch, he decides to try and make a play himself.
And, hey, maybe in hindsight, taking the fair catch would have been good, because he got swarmed, only got about 3 or 4 yards on the return. But great coverage there by Westchester. That's what we're looking for on kick return. When you stay in your lanes, good things happen.
1st down and 10 from the 23 with 9:20 on the clock. Shotgun formation, 4 strong, trips to the far side. It's going to be another screen pass. It's going to be reeled in, but it's only going to be a pickup of 3. As number 88 of Seton Hall, the big wide receiver, 6'4" frame, is Ty George.
These little screens aren't what's the problem for Westchester's defense. It's when they stretch them out and go deep down the field. They're handling these screen passes very well.
But off that note, they do the screen pass, think it's the screen pass, and then it fly right by him. So something to keep an eye on.
Exactly.
Shotgun formation, 4 strong once again. 4 wide receiver set. It's going to be almost a screen pass to George. He reels it in. That's going to be a 1st down for the Griffins, who continue to go down the field.
They just move the chains at will. And the wheels are definitely falling off the wagon now for this Westchester's defense. They need to figure out some way to hold it together. I don't see much pressure on Strong. He seems like he has all day back there to throw the football. That's a problem.
Ball spotted on the 37-yard line with 8:30 remaining in this game. Strong puts George in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Stout off the far side. He finds a crease and continues to drive his feet. He's going to be down at the 45. That's going to be a pickup of 8.
We talk about Elder lowering the boom on people. Stout is lowering the hat on these Westchester defenders, not taking no for an answer, keeping those feet moving. Gets a nice gain on 1st down, a nice gain of about 8, 2nd and short.
The senior picking up 8 yards. They're going to go back to him once again. He's got the first down and more as 44 of the Rams came up with the tackle. That's Reeves.
Look at him just barrel through these defenders. Does not fall backwards. You see many backs like this at higher levels of football in the NFL. The beast modes and the D'Angelo Williams and the Le'Veon Bells. They fall forward, and that's what Stout is doing. He gets hit. He doesn't fall backward. He falls forward.
Shotgun formation. 2 wide receivers to the near side. Strong looking over the middle. He has his target, and that's going to pick up another first down for the Griffins. That's number 87. Multiple weapons. That's Dylan Everett, another tight end on the roster.
So now we finally see some pressure and Strong coming with the quarterback blitz, the outside linebacker blitz, but he's able to get rid of the ball early, and for that picks up a big gain on first down.
There's a lot. The crowd starts to come alive. That's going to be the backup running back going around the outside, but it's going to be a pickup of 1 or 2 yards for Patrick Jackson.
Yeah, good stop. This crowd seems to be a little bit stunned. The Rams came out on fire. Looked like they had a good grasp of the game, and all of a sudden we look up and it's a 3-point game. This isn't what we signed up for. The crowd's trying to get back into it, throw their support behind their defense because their defense is starting to look gassed.
7 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. That went for no gain. Shotgun formation, trips to the far side. Strong looking, saw his target all the way down. Incomplete, intended for Brown.
Hey, Brown again looking for the flag, but at least this time we didn't let him get loose. Able to stifle him, able to create the incomplete pass. Now we set up 3rd and long.
Saw trips and it looked like man-to-man along the outside. He liked this matchup, decided I'm going to go that way.
And almost completed the pass, and that's what we've talked about. The man-to-man coverage is not working for Westchester. They're getting beat time after time again. We need to keep safeties high, give safety help over the top.
Strong coming out on this 3rd down. 3rd down and 10 from the 29. Moves was not ready for that snap, but he's going to throw it deep down the field. That's going to be incomplete. It's going to draw a flag in the secondary. That's going to be a pass interference on Westchester.
And I saw it from here. Great call by the ref, an easy call by the ref. Had his hands all over him, pretty much wrapped the body of the Griffin offensive player. But that's what happens when you keep getting beat long. You get tired, you get winded, and then you start having these little mistakes that end up in penalties. Another penalty against the Rams.
That's a costly penalty because that was 3rd down. That would have set up a tough 4th down and 10. They most likely would have gone for it because that would be a long field goal attempt.
And even if they do get the field goal attempt, that makes it a tie game. Now you set up a first down inside the red zone. Big scoring implications here for Seton Hill.
Tough break for the Rams as it will make it first down within the red zone. Ball spotted on the 14, so 3 yards you can't be happy with if you're Coach Swan.
Only good thing about this is now there's no play over the top. They can't stretch your defense, okay? So now you need to stay compact, stay in. Don't let these nice plays happen because how you score in the red zone is by technique. Good blocks. Don't let them get the edge.
Strong ready, trips to the far side. Westchester applying pressure. It's going to be a slant over the middle. It's going to be caught, but he is going to be tackled by number 6. That's Malone, but he appears to be hurt on the play.
Applies a good hit, but looked like he hurt himself more than he hurt the offensive player. Might have just had a little stinger there on his shoulder. Seems to be trying to get up.
That slant went for 4 yards. It's going to set up 2nd down and 6 from the 10. We're going to step aside. You're watching this presentation of Westchester University football on SFBN. Seton Hill knocking on the door after the injury timeout. Westchester leads 34-31 with 6 minutes and change remaining on the clock. Great turnout today. Beautiful Saturday afternoon for some football.
A great day for football this afternoon. Couldn't have asked for a better atmosphere. Loving the crowd today for Family Day. Loving the atmosphere for football. Let's see if Westchester can hold off and get this win.
I formation is Stout's going to get play action. He's going to be rolling around the outside. Intended for Brown, incomplete. Andrew Cohen applying the pressure.
Hey, he had him open along the backside of the end zone, but had to throw across his body. Couldn't get his feet set. Good pressure by the Westchester front seven. Sets up 3rd and 6. One more stop, and they got to go for 3.
Stout will check out. Looks like they're bringing in a few more weapons on the outside. McLean checks in. They're going to spread this field out.
And this is what we're talking about for Westchester. I don't think, in my opinion, you can afford to go man-to-man covers because you've been beat. Even though there's no stretching around the field, you're in the red zone. You need to stay in a goal line kind of zone defense, which it looks like they're doing.
McLean goes in motion to the far side. Strong's looking that way. Finds his target, but he is going to be stuffed before the end zone. They're going to mark him down on about the 2-yard line, but it's going to pick up a first down. First down and goal from about the 1-yard line, James.
I just thought that Westchester had him stopped there, but they pick up the first down. Now you got to have a nice goal line stand here from your defense. Cannot let them punch this in.
First down and goal. I formation. Brown goes in motion. Stout's it's gonna be a handoff to the fullback, who's into the end zone. That's 26. That's Khalil Howard, who just had the kick return.
And Khalil Howard putting his fingerprints on this game in this second half. Has a nice kick return both times. Now punches it in for the end zone. But we have 5:30 left on the clock. That's plenty of time for Westchester to put a nice drive together. Probably take some time off the clock too, because we need to get some points on the board here and get a touchdown.
Kicking the extra point is Baltimore. Kick is up. Kick is good. Seton Hill gets their first lead of the game with 5:29 on the clock, up 38-34.
This is where you see the character of your offense right now. Can they put something together right now and get a scoring drive together? Coach Bill Swan is looking at a sophomore quarterback like, show me something. Prove to me that you can take us down the field right now and score. I think Moriarty is capable of doing it.
Something you have to look for, maybe Eddie Elliott coming across on these screen passes possibly, because you're going to have to do something. You're not going to want to put the ball in the hands of this Griffin offense once again.
Absolutely not. You cannot afford to have 4th down come up at all in this drive. You need to keep chains moving. But it looks like the Griffin defense is starting to key in on Elliott and Elder on those little screens. Let's see if maybe finally we can get Tim Brown integrated in this offense a little bit.
Perfect time to have him in the game. 4th quarter, 5 minutes to go. Get your best player on the field. As back to return is Young and Elder. Baltimore ready to kick this one away.
Pivotal right here for Westchester to have a good return. We need to start with good field position, as they have for most of this afternoon.
Baltimore's kick. And it's going to be kicked to Young, who's going to take it out of the end zone. He's going to try and find the crease on the left side. And he is going to be dropped after a big hit by the Griffins, but it's going to put him on to 15.
And it's the opposite of what I was saying. Total opposite of what I was saying. I said we want to start with good field position, but it said Westchester starts on their own 15-yard line, backed up in their territory. But still have plenty of time on the clock to put a drive together. Let's see what we can do here.
Westchester starts this drive of 5:24 on the clock. This is probably the possession of the game, James.
Of course, this is where you put it all together. You cannot afford right now to come out here with no points. You need to score, and it needs to be a touchdown. You're down 4.
Moriarty puts his Elliott, who gets the jet sweep, and he's going to turn the corner. He's at the 30, stays on his feet. And he's going to go all the way down to the 45-yard line.
It's a movie script. We're seeing it over and over again. Elliott is getting these jet sweeps and turning the corner, but there's a flag on the field. We might be bringing this back, Dave.
There is a flag on the play, but I don't see where the flag is. Do you, James?
I don't.
It had to be along the sideline when Elliott broke it free. It might be a block or a hold.
This is in the area of holding or blocking the back, which is
But
trouble.
it's going to be on the spot of the foul, though, so it would still pick up the first down if that happened. It's going to be a hold on the Rams. It's going to bring them back after the great play by Elliott.
They haven't had many penalties in the second half, but they all have been costly. Seems that they all come on big plays. They're bringing these plays back. Can't afford to have this keep happening.
Ball is spotted on the 29-yard line. 24-yard line, excuse me. It's going to go to Elder on the outside, who breaks free. He's at the 50, 40. He's going to make a move, and he is tripped up with one defender, 36 of Seton Hill. That's Norman makes a touchdown-saving play.
What a play in the open field by Norman and Hill, but let's not take away from the run from Elder, who has had himself an afternoon today, putting the offense seemingly on his back. Another big run coming right off the back of a penalty to get him back in the scoring position. And look whose quick strike offense is working now. Westchester knocking on the door.
Westchester in business on the 22-yard line, 4:30 to go. Shotgun formation. Young comes in as Elder checks out. They're going to make an audible at the line. They're going to burn a timeout. Moriarty wasn't ready for this one. We're going to take a quick timeout ourselves. You're listening to this presentation of Westchester University football on SFBN.
Hi, I'm Marty Bystrom, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. In my experience in Major League Baseball, I know how important it is for high school athletes to gain exposure. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the sports fan-based network. If you are a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
Welcome back after that Elder run. Puts Westchester in business with 4:23 on the clock. First down and 10 Rams, but Elder looked like he could have almost gotten to the end zone if he made one more move.
And it's funny because I think that Westchester's approach to this drive was, hey, let's move the chains, but let's also take some time off the clock because we don't want to have enough time for this Griffins offense, this quick strike Griffin offense to score. But then Elder breaks a huge 50-yard run, and now they're right inside their own red zone, or right outside their own red zone, rather. So let's see what Westchester can do right here, knocking on the door.
Ball spotted on the 22-yard line. Elder checks back in. It's going to be a handoff to him to the right side. It's only going to be a few yards. It's going to be second down. It's going to be a pickup of 1.
And that clock continues to run there. That's on Westchester's side now. They want some clock to run down. They're right outside the run zone. They're right in scoring range. So let some of that time tick off before you try to punch it in.
Moriarty shotgun formation. He's looking to his right. It's going to be a crossing pattern. It is complete. And he's going to be all the way down to the 1-yard line. What a run by number 11. That is Shannon Mayer, who's having himself a game.
Mayer is having himself a game. We've seen him throw blocks for Elder and Elliott on the outside, get involved a little bit in the first half of the passing game. Now gets a huge play to set up first and goal for the Rams. Big player by the big player.
You have to think Elder's getting this handoff. First and goal at the 1. You want to see all that time click off, though, before they snap this ball.
Let's run as much time off the clock as possible.
Mayer goes in motion. Ball's loose. He missed the snap, but it looks like they jumped on top of it.
That's the last thing that the Rams need right now. Too many miscues for the Rams. That's the name of the game. Hopefully we can mend it and still come out of this game with a W, but way too many mistakes happening. That's something you can't afford to happen on first and goal is a missed snap.
The missed snap will be a loss of 1. Ball spotted on the 2-yard line. Is under 3 minutes. Mayer goes in motion once again. It's going to go to Elder, who's going to be stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Several players on the line. Number 93, most notably. That's Plummer, the junior from Neptune, New Jersey.
And we still have yet to see Tim Brown get targeted in the red zone. This is the Rams' 4th time in the red zone, and Tim Brown has not been targeted. I know the running game is working, but it's 3rd and goal right now, and they're in goal line formation. They're stacked right there. There's 11 in the box. You're not going to get this run off.
Elder goes in motion. It's going to be the Elder right on the outside. Huge block by Class. Touchdown, Westchester with 2:15 on the clock. What a run. What a great play call.
I said that this offense needed to step up at the beginning of this drive and put a scoring drive together, and that's exactly what they're doing. Great job by Moriarty. Great job by Elder to get around the block. Elder is having himself a day. What a play by Westchester. What a play by the running back, and we regain the lead.
Paulson getting ready to kick this extra point to make it a three-point game. Kick is good, makes it a one-possession game. Westchester takes the lead once again, 41-38, 2:15 on the clock. What can you say? Elder's done it all.
Elder has really been the catalyst for Westchester's offense today. It is running through him, and in turn, he's running through this Griffins defense, seemingly getting what he wants to get it. But there's a lot of time on that clock that we've seen that it does not take the Griffins offense long to score. So Westchester really, if there was a time that Westchester needs to bow their neck and stop the Griffins, it's now. They've had tremendous success in the second half, throwing the ball and running the ball. So Westchester needs to bow their neck right now, stop this Griffins defense, and let's get out of here with a W.
I'll just say this right now. We'll get it at the end of the game, but Elder has to be close to 200 yards rushing.
Oh, absolutely. He broke a 100-yard mark when we first started the second half, and he showed no signs of slowing down. I wouldn't be surprised if he's over 200, if not 215 yards on the day.
Getting ready to kick this one away is Paulson. There will be 2:15 on the clock for Seton Hill. As we get the stats, it looks like Elder is 7 yards short of 200. Incredible for the sophomore.
What a great day for the sophomore running back.
It's going to be a kick. They're trying to avoid it from their main running back. That's going to be bobbled by Khalil. It's going to go to the outside. He just had the touchdown as the Rams wrestle down, but ooh, that could have been the recipe for disaster for the Griffins.
And here's the recipe for disaster for the Rams. There's a flag on the play.
Flag in the area of offsides on the Rams.
I mean, this is getting a little bit ridiculous here, Dave. We've had mental mistake after mental mistake after mental mistake from the Rams. This cannot keep happening. And they're all the same penalty. Multiple holdings, multiple offsides on kick returns, nonetheless. That's something you can't happen.
It looks like they're targeting Khalil Howard. They want to keep it out of the hands of their playmakers, but Westchester keeps killing themselves with all these penalties.
And you see what Seton Hill is doing right now. They moved up their one kick returner, McClam. They moved them up to the second line in front of the back line. So they maybe try to get him the ball from the second line because they see Westchester keep targeting it.
Now, I don't know about you. They have 16 penalties for 120 yards worth.
That's a killer. That'll kill any drive, any game. That'll swing momentum right there. Right now, Westchester is hurting themselves, and you see exactly what I planned.
Goes McLean right around the 20-yard line. He's going to find the crease. He's going to go to the outside, but he's going to be stopped by 31 of the Rams. That's Mark Dukes, the running back. So another running back makes the impact on special teams. They're going to have the 2-minute drill will be for Seton Hill to try and win this game.
And they have all three of their timeouts. So clock and timeouts work on their side, and field position work on their side. Westchester defense needs to come up big here.
You got to love the drama. 2 minutes to go. Game on the line.
Week
3.
This is what fall's about. This is what we live for. It's a great football game right here.
Shotgun formation, Strong looking to go deep down the field. Doesn't have anybody. He's going to throw it away. Andrew Cohen applying the pressure. Almost came down with this school record sack.
This is what we need. This is what Westchester needs. Keep the pressure on. You know that the Griffins are going to come out throwing the football. They barely run the ball at all in this second half. Keep applying pressure.
You have to think they're not running the ball at all in this drive. You got 3 timeouts, 1:53 on the clock. 4 wide receivers set. Watch the dump down. Strong's going to try and go to the outside. He's going to have his target along the sidelines, but they're going to call it incomplete. Incomplete. Brown did not reel it all the way in. 3rd down and 10.
So there's a lot that has to happen before you have a complete pass. You have to have possession. You have to be able to tuck it. You have to make a football move on the field before it's called a complete pass. That all has to come in line. He wasn't able to do that. Gets knocked out, incomplete pass, 3rd and long. Now some trouble brewing here for the Griffins.
Woo! It's been a tough one all the way around. It's going to be shotgun formation. 4 wide receivers set, 4 strong. Andrew Cohen coming around the corner. Almost, it's going to be a flag in the backfield. Incomplete pass, but there's going to be an area of holding. And we'll see what Coach Swan wants to do. Either have 4th and 10 or 3rd down and 20.
I don't know what I would rather here, Dave. That's tough, especially at the spot you're on the field. Because if you go 4th down and 10, there is a possibility that the Griffins go for it.
And he declines it.
And they're going to have 4th down and 10. There's a possibility. Looks like they're going to go for it. They're going to keep their offense on the field. So
the crowd comes alive now. 4th down and 10, 1:42. This could be the ball game. Andrew Cohen is playing like a man possessed on that defensive line. Expect him to apply pressure on Strong, who's going to try and get the ball out early.
Undoubtedly the most important play of the game comes right here for both sides. Look at Andrew Cohen coming around the end like an animal.
Strong, he's going to look. He's looking down the field. It is intercepted. It is intercepted by the Golden Rams. Number 32 of the Rams comes down with it. That's Brandon Pepper.
Offense will dictate a game. Defense will seal a game, and that's exactly what it did right here. Defense sealed it, and when the Rams needed them most, defense stepped up. Great possession here by the Rams defense.
You got to give props to the defensive line, getting pressure on Strong. He's had a clean pocket for most of the night, but knowing they're going to throw the ball, pinned the ears back and applied the pressure, forcing him into that throw.
I don't know if they're listening to our broadcast down there, Dave, but it seems like every time we say something, they do it on the field. We said they needed to apply pressure for this drive. That's exactly what they did. Now what the Rams have to focus on, hold on to the football. Do not give it back. That's the only thing that you need to focus on this drive.
You have to think it's going to Elder. He gets the handoff. He's going to go up the middle. He's going to find 5 or 6 yards, but it's going to be most likely coming back as there's a flag on the play.
Here we go again with these flags. Now, it may not hurt them as much because all they're looking to do is hold on the football and run the clock down, but so many miscues are happening for this Rams offense, and it seems to all be coming on the offensive line.
Coach Swan wanted an explanation along the sidelines to see what is going on. That is the 17th penalty of the Rams. Personal foul, chop block on Westchester will push them back. That's the 17th penalty on the Rams.
And look at Coach Swan, livid with his offensive line, absolutely disgusted with their play today, as he should be. Way too many penalties coming on the offensive line for the same things.
And you don't want to give the ball back to the Griffins with any time on the clock, as the timeout by the Griffins will stop at 1:31, but you have to expect 3 handoffs to Elder.
3 handoffs to Elder, but look at the field that they have to make up. Hopefully he can break off a big run and try to get a first down, but it doesn't look promising right now for the Rams. Only thing that they can hope is that clock just keeps on winding down.
Most important thing is that Seton Hill has 2 more timeouts. They used their first, but you got to try and go to the outs. Maybe Eddie Elliott sweep to get them. You got to change it up a little bit because you notice Seton Hill is going to expect the run.
Of course they are, as they should. But just because they're expecting a run doesn't mean they can stop it, because they haven't been able to stop it all day. So hopefully Elliott can find an edge, Elder can find an edge, and they can break a big one here, because they need to make up some ground right now.
Moriarty comes out, shotgun formation, Elder on his right hip. 2 wide receivers to the far side. You have to think it's coming in motion, and it is the jet sweep to Eddie Elliott. Pumps the brakes. He's going to go across the field. Moriarty throwing a block, and he's going to get all the way down to the 44-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of 9.
What's the second time we've seen Moriarty throw a block when Elliott decides to change fields? I like to see that for a quarterback. Get out in field. If you can make a block, go ahead and make it. Try to spring your back. They get some much-needed ground made up there. 2nd and 16 for the Rams.
That is their second timeout, and I was trying to figure out who Eddie Elliott reminded me of. He reminds me of Darren Sproles from the Philadelphia Eagles.
Of course, Darren Sproles, that little back that can find seams pretty much anywhere. Great at the changing direction on the field. Great at picking up cutback lanes. That's exactly what Elliott did on the jet sweep.
And the Golden Rams can also work off that. They can use Eddie Elliott as a decoy going across or have the run with Elder cut back. So they got a couple of options. They want to burn the last time out of Seton Hall before giving the ball back. A first down will clinch the game, though.
That's all they need is a first down. But they got some yards to make up. One thing that I'm very surprised that I haven't seen in this game is that fake jet sweep and try to throw it over the top. Now is not the right time to do it.
No, you do not throw the ball in this circumstance.
Do not want to throw the ball in this situation. But it's also something that I'm surprised I haven't seen throughout the course of the game.
I would like to see Elder maybe get that 7 yards to reach the 200 mark. It's great to see this backup running back who's not playing like a backup at all.
That'll just be the exclamation point on one heck of a day that this running back has had. Like you said, the backup running back.
It's going to go to Elder off the far side. He's going to cut back, and he's going to go all the way down to the 49. It's going to be a pickup of 5. They're going to burn their last timeout, so Seton Hill does not have any timeouts remaining.
And 1:14 left on the clock, so if, Westchester can, hey, maybe they can break a run here for a first down. That'll pretty much seal this game.
2 more yards, and Elder goes over 200 for the game. But you have to think it's going to a handoff, whether it's in the hands of Eddie Elliott, Moriarty, or one other player.
I can't decide what I would rather do. Would I rather get Elliott out in space, or would I rather go Elder up the middle?
Coming up next is the post-game report from SFBN. And we're going to have Frankie along the sidelines reporting for us as well. 1:14 remaining on the clock. Westchester leads 41-38. 3rd down and 11. Seton Hill has to get a stop here.
A pivotal stop. They have 11 yards to go for Westchester for this first down. Seton Hill, like Westchester, didn't.
Mare goes in motion. It's going to go to Elder. He has the corner. He's at the 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Golden Rams. That's the explanation point you've been looking for.
That's what I was looking for. Bring it on home, big fella. You've had quite a day. Why not end it? Seal the deal. Touchdown, Rams.
3rd touchdown today for Elder. He is well over the 200-yard mark. That is how you play a football game. Westchester comes on the field to try and kick the extra point.
And you said this earlier, Dave. Whenever Monk is able to come back off that injury, he is going to have a competition in practice because Elder is making a name for himself here.
Paulson kicks it. It is good. Westchester takes a 10-point lead, up 48-38 with 1:04 remaining in this game. What a great job by Elder and this offensive line to get pressure and then go to the outside.
It's funny, all they were looking for was a first down just to seal the deal and to try to put a cap on this game. But then Elder says, why first down? Why can I have a touchdown?
Exactly.
Goes up 10 points with a little over a minute left. Seems just out of reach for the Griffins. But what a great job by Elder. Can't speak enough of what this back has done today.
The sophomore running back truly going to make his name known in the papers tonight as he has had himself quite a game. 3 touchdowns, over 200 yards on the ground, in addition to through the air. Westchester is going to probably squib this one, what you think, with only 1 minute remaining on the clock.
Last thing you want to do is to give it in the hands of their playmakers in the back and have a touchdown return. And then you got to worry about an onside kick and all that jazz. Let's not even worry about that. Let's squib it, pin them back deep in their territory, and play defense.
Can't say enough of this offense. Elder, 3 touchdowns himself. Moriarty has 3 touchdowns through the air. Elder has 1 receiving I mean, it's just been an all-out effort by Elder.
And coming into this game, it was a running back by committee. But in the second half, Elder took over that committee. They gave him the ball. They were feeding that workhorse, and he's paid dividends for them in the running game.
Paulson ready to kick this one away. It's going to be a squibber, but it's going to bounce its way to the 10-yard line. That's going to be Stout back there who finds a crease, and he's going to be tackled by number 43 of the Rams, who finds his way to the 32. That's going to be Hockman.
Stout gets tripped up. Seemed to have found a crease there. That looked dangerous for a second, but good coverage there by the Rams, finally staying in their lanes.
1st and 10 from the 33 with 58 seconds remaining. You would have to think the Golden Rams are playing a prevent defense here.
The last thing that you can have happen is get beat long. Don't worry about the short passes. Don't worry about small games. Just don't get beat over the top.
And you would have to think with Patton 10 yards off the ball, that's what they're doing. Strong 5-receiver set. He's going to look, and he is going to be sacked by Andrew Cohen. That is the school record for sacks.
How about, we've had everything in this game today. We've had a 200-yard rushing day. We've had a back scored 3 touchdowns. Moriarty scored 3 touchdowns. And now, with under 40 seconds left in the game, Andrew Cohen gets the school sack record. This has been a great day, and on Family Day nonetheless. Bringing the whole community together here, Dave.
Family Day as the clock continues to wind down. That's going to be a loss of 7. Most career record for sacks. Can you believe that? What a job by Cohen and his career at Westchester University. As Strong throws it, and it is intercepted by Patton. That will seal the deal.
Elder's touchdown might have been an exclamation point, but that was the reference page. That's it. This story is over. Great job today by Westchester on both sides of the football, offense and defense, stepping up when they both are needed to. Couldn't have asked for a better football game.
In a program that lost Alhaj Shabazz last year, who went to the NFL, Patton has made his name known. He is only a junior. He came up with 2 huge picks today.
And they were looking for a person that could fill that hole when Shabazz left to the NFL, going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And they might have found it in Patton today, who stepped up huge. And, 2 interceptions, great plays on the ball all day. Westchester had a lot of gaps coming into this game, but may have filled them in nicely.
Moriarty takes a knee, and that will do it from John A. Farrell Stadium on the campus of Westchester University. The Golden Rams go on to a 48-38 victory over the Seton Hill Griffins.
What a game today. What a job by the Golden Rams. Can't say enough.
You are watching this presentation of Westchester University football on SFBN.
Hey, you.
Who, me?
Yes, you. Do you like pro sports?
Yeah,
Do you like college sports?
of course.
Do you like high school sports?
I guess.
Maybe you just don't know much about them.
Hey, voice in the sky.
Huh?
Where can I go to learn more about Philadelphia area high school athletics?
Just watch Varsity Voice every other Wednesday at 6 p.m. on TCN.
Hi, I'm Tommy Green, former pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. When I was in high school, it was very important to me to show scouts what I could do. My friends at Payroll Service Solutions are huge supporters of high school sports and the Sports Fan Base Network. If you're a small to medium-sized business in need of a payroll company, contact Payroll Service Solutions. Not only will they take care of you, they will continue to support the community. For more information, contact Payroll Service Solutions at 215-624-0922 or 866-PAY-EASY.
Get their first win of the season, 48-38 over Seton Hill. Tonight's Lloyd Sixthman Sporting Goods Player of the Game is none other than Jarel Elder with 25 carries for 249, 3 touchdowns on the game. And that's tonight's Player of the Game presented by Lloyd Sixthman Sporting Goods, the leading supplier of the Philadelphia Public League. Visit them today at 7554 Frankfort Avenue in Mayfair for all your sporting good needs. Now, none other than Elder, tremendous effort all the way around.
Can't say enough about this back today. Doing it all, breaking runs from the backfield, catching balls out of the backfield. His first touchdown came on the receiving end of Moriarty's pass. He had a great day today for not only than a sophomore backup running back. Stepped in, filled the shoes nicely, went above and beyond expectations.
I'm sorry, I forgot. He also had 8 receptions for 84 and a touchdown. He finished with 4 touchdowns on the game. Tremendous effort by the sophomore running back.
It's amazing how when injuries go down, how one player can step up and just fill shoes. Elder did it tremendously today.
Through the air, Moriarty was 20 of 38, 302, 3 touchdowns on the game. So you have to think the sophomore quarterback is starting to find a rhythm, especially Tim Brown back on the team.
Great news today for Westchester to see Moriarty getting that little rhythm. Tim Brown wasn't as utilized as maybe some fans would have liked to see, but just having him on the field is a presence that defenses have to account for, and which opened up many opportunities for many other receivers, which Moriarty took advantage of that today.
You have to think on the opposing sideline, they might have not gotten the W, but offensively, their numbers are through the roof. 6 receptions for Ardell Brown for 154 and 2 touchdowns. Jarvis McLean, same 6 receptions, 84 yards and a touchdown. Strong came in 28, 48, 322 and 3 touchdowns as well. You have to think this offense, they get some rhythm, they'll do great rest of the season.
They had quick strike capabilities that were on display for many of this game. The thing that I'm focusing on, though, isn't the 322 yards, isn't the 3 TDs, it's the 3 interceptions. That Westchester defense came up when it needed to, got key stops.
Receiving for the Golden Rams was Shannon Mayer, came down with a huge reception from 38 distance. 4 receptions, 82 at a TD. Aaron Young, 2 receptions for 23 and a TD. all the way around, it's been a great effort as total Golden Rams go on to the victory 48-38. And we're going to send it down the sidelines review. Frankie, what do you got for us?
I'm down here with Rams quarterback Moriarty. You were able to hold off the Seton Griffins for the first win of the season. Tell me about that.
It was a gutsy win, definitely a gutsy win. We came out, we made some mistakes, came out with a little jitters. We're still a young football team, but I got to give all the credit to my offensive line, receivers, running backs. They all did a great job and kind of picked me up if I wasn't getting it going early.
Okay, and what were your thoughts heading into the second quarter with the lead?
Second quarter with the lead, we just wanted to keep pounding the rock, scoring some more points because we knew we could score. We just got to pick up the defense when they're slacking. But they came through in the end, and you can't ask anything else.
Okay, and your thoughts going into Millersville next week?
Millersville, we just got to keep getting better. Seton Hill's a good team. Obviously, they gave us a great fight, but we're not a good football team yet. So we put some things together, and then we'll be all right.
Thank you, Pat. Golden Rams here with the first one of the season against Seton Hill Griffins. Dave, back to you.
Thank you, Frankie. As Pat Moriarty stated, they are a young football team, but once they start gaining confidence, they're going to be dangerous towards November.
And what separates young football teams from good football teams, in my opinion, are the mistakes, the mental mistakes. And such a young football team, you're going to have multiple mistakes, but 17 penalties for over 150 total yards is way too much. That's something that they have to fix, especially going to a very good Millersville football team next week. Can't afford to have that many miscues.
Westchester holds on to their first win of the season, 48-38. That will do it from John A. Farrell Stadium here on Westchester University's campus. I'm Dave DiPasqua, aside James. Any last thoughts?
What a great football game today. Great afternoon. Couldn't ask for anything better on Family Day.
Thank you for watching this presentation of Westchester University football on SFBN.
Thank you.